It was cool.
Bam, we're live. You're home.
Just like that.
Did you sleep last night?
Yeah, I went to bed too late, but whatever. I
Because
do that sometimes everywhere, right?
it's 4 in the morning in Bora Bora, right? 3 hours
Yeah,
ahead of us.
yeah.
Did you adjust to that time quickly?
But that's, like, you're traveling when your kid's saying something like, it's actually tomorrow, right?
When I first started working at CrossFit, it was late 2006, and I would see these lines like constantly varied movements executed at high intensity and work capacity across broad time and modal domains, and there were all of these I guess you could call them mantras, or what idiots would call marketing, but they were explanations in these there were explanations of what we were doing, and around the defining of the term fitness. And I remember asking Tony at one point, I think maybe you were on the thread, embarrassingly enough, in an email. Had started making media for you guys. I'm like, who came up with all of these lines? And I think Tony, that was when G Chat was big, and he's like, hey, dumb fuck, Greg wrote all that stuff. And I think about how long it took me to sort of grasp, not pick up the shiny objects in the lease rents model. Those types of things, for some reason, took me years and years to. I could understand them when you would say them to me, but to work them into my personality, these things had to be like worked into my personality and into the way that I viewed the world. And it took me a long time to do that. And I had to sit down with you at breakfast and hear these things reiterated over and over and over in different ways, coming at them from different angles, the purpose of them, the whys, the implications of thinking what was the CrossFit culture, which was this lifestyle culture. And I don't know if you heard this, Greg. I don't mean to just drop this on you in front of everyone, but so there were some of us who got to hear that stuff from you over and over and over, and it took a long time to get. And then I finally understood whenever we had new people why they couldn't get it. Like it was, and I don't mean this as a dig to Rosa, but it's what made Rosa. It was going to be impossible for him to ever catch up, because it could take someone 20 years to understand what you were saying, like to fully, even though it's not complicated, it's so against what we're taught as kids. To get ahead, to make money, to take shortcuts, to avoid discomfort, all of these things that CrossFit was the antithesis of. But there were a handful of us, a lot of us, there were 50 of us who got to hear it come out of your mouth over and over and over. And then we started, we got brainwashed into understanding that lifestyle, to view the world through a different lens, from a different angle. And yesterday, we got the news that Tyson Oldroyd was let go from CrossFit Inc. And I was thinking, wow. I was just thinking about how that's like a huge cultural loss for the company, because he's one of those people who got to be around you so much and understand all the facets of CrossFit that made CrossFit what CrossFit is. Would you say CrossFit's a movement? In context of where it is in history with in context of where it is in history with diet and movement, you know what I mean? I would say it was more of a movement than anything else.
Sevi, I was prepared to discuss it in terms of being a cult, a movement, a fad.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick your fucking label, right?
Right.
I
find none of those offensive anymore, by the way. Yeah.
It had an existence, a reality, entirely independent of any label we could put on it.
Right. And we had, and it was a culture. And that's why when you go to the CrossFit Games and the security guard would be like, hey, I've never done a 3-day event with 20,000 people and there's not a fight. This is so weird. It was just sad to me for, obviously Tyson has 3 kids and it sucks for him. But I was kind of sad for just all the different people because just in the space, I guess primarily affiliates, because he was on the media team. But that's one. I'm trying to think who's there who actually got to sit down at you with breakfast, lunch, and dinner for fucking 10 years, like he did or I did, who got to just drink from the fountain. And you obviously lived and breathed it. I mean, you didn't make small talk about anything else. It was just CrossFit all time. I don't know. I think it's massively significant that eventually there's going to be no one there. I know you used to always say that the trainers could pass on the kernel, the DNA of CrossFit, if everyone died and one L1 trainer lived. But I think that there's something special for the people who got to actually drink from, like, just sit down with you at breakfast and just chop it up with you. I know there is. I know there is.
On a lot of fronts, it seems to me that some of the actions of the current effort, current ownership,
Yeah,
have been just a lethal blow to the hot air balloon. Just a gaping hole. You just ripped a panel out of the whole thing, and it's sputtering. And I got a bunch of those, but one of those was the dissolution and removal of the affiliate team. Kathy Glassman, my sister, Sarah Lucas, all Beam, the whole crew.
Paula, yeah.
Alice, I'm leaving people out. It's not good. But they were amazing. And I could wake up in the morning and see that one of them, that was Sarah Lewis, was always
Sarah Lucas.
I know her well too. Sarah would work late at night, and the quality of the interaction, it reduced all kinds of confusion. They were miracle workers in terms of dealing with the affiliates, and it's something you could be proud of forever. And that'd be one of the last things I would let come apart. It had way more ramifications than anything that related to the games. Almost anything related to the training outside of the kernel of what we delivered initially.
Right.
That's the one thing that wasn't skin but meat. And like, who's there now for that? For the amount of legal work that we did, it's amazing how little paralegal work we had to do. And that's because it was done naturally, just in the course of events with the affiliate team. They head off legal problems all day and all night long. You actually can't do that, sir.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
And it's so much better to have Sarah Lucas or Kathy Glassman or Allison Autry telling you that that's probably not going to wash legally, and that could offend the mothership. Is better to hear it from them than from an attorney every time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When I thought it was bizarre when they got rid of Leif Edmondson. I really viewed him as guardian of the brand
on another level.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Leif was head of publishing. And so everything that we published forward facing, even stuff Greg wrote, it all funneled through Leif. And Leif took that job very seriously. And he would be like, hey, did you mean to say this? Hey, in this video, it does this. And he would consume everything before. And it would basically, he was just a guardian of the brand. And he would often say, Greg would not say that. Greg would not like that. And then we would run it up the flagpole to Greg, and Greg would be like, yeah, what the fuck is this crazy shit? I mean, I think Leif was 3,252,000,000 to 3,252,000,000. His record was perfect. And so they get rid of him. And obviously, ever since then, now we've accepted all the faux pas that come out forward facing. And I'm just tripping. I wonder if because you could teach someone, he's in the media. This is what I think. He's in the media department, right? And I think I'm just guessing because of this Jenna Hawka CMO lady they've hired. I'm guessing that they're going to go more to way more towards marketing. So they're going to go to Facebook ads, Google ads. They're going to start thinking that they're going to sell this thing like a product, like widgets or M&Ms, right? But my thought is like,
what's the sale? Sell what?
I don't know. Get people. I don't know that maybe new products I haven't seen yet, but maybe get people into L1s. Maybe find the perfect price for affiliates. Find the perfect timing on like maybe they're gonna you have to renew the L1 every 5 years. Maybe they're gonna move it to every 3 years. Just whatever they can do to maximize the money coming in, right? Just to start. And so they're gonna start figuring all of that stuff out. With those people. But my thought is this: you could teach any monkey that in 6 months. So like if you wanted someone to be an expert on Facebook ads, you could teach Tyson to do that in 6 months, but you won't teach someone how to learn the culture. You can't teach someone how to learn the culture. It's going to take 10 years, and you're going to have people already there who already understand the culture. And that is actually why people pay their affiliate fees. The big picture is it falls under this bucket, as abstract as it is. They're paying the affiliate fees to be part of the culture. To be like, hey, it's their Armenian tag, it's their Ukrainian flag, it's their fucking Trump hat. And so you get rid of Tyson, and you're going to lose that whole, they would call it institutional knowledge, but it's more than that.
Yeah, Matt, on my departure, I left the remark with friends, and I know Sevi was around and heard this part of that cohort. But I think I just sold the Hells Angels to Costco. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that CrossFit HQ now views their job as pushing people into the affiliates in a traditional sense, like Sevon's saying, with like marketing and stuff like that. And I think that's a mistake.
You know, Souza and Hiller were just talking about like, hey, if all they did was focus on making sure they kept the mantle as the #1 fitness methodology and health methodology in the world, all the other things would fall into place. And I couldn't agree more. Like they need to like really double down on just like, hey, protect the L1, emphasize the L1, make all media around the L1.
Is that what you want to hear as an investor?
Probably not.
I want to hear how I turn my 15 cents into $1, right?
Yeah.
But
I can help with that.
But hey, dude, if you go visit the Crown Jewels in the United Kingdom and you get there and they're covered in dust, you will give that a fucking 1 star. And I don't that's where they're missing out. They're not the training, all the training there needs to be continuously polished so that it presents well. And then and then of course people will do the games and people will open affiliates and people will get government military contracts. But if you neglect that, boy,
I don't know why I'm reminded of this, but I'm going to share it because
I love how you don't give a shit either. You're just like, yeah, what's up? See you, I'm driving out. See you in a couple of days, Sevy.
Yeah, I'll be there.
BSI May 9th, bitches.
What was this story I had?
Or you were sorry. You were going to say it reminds you of something.
It'll come back to me.
Anyway, sorry about that, Tyson. I know what it feels like to be fired. I was thinking that I think the first person fired in that first round, and now obviously I worked very closely with Tyson, very, very, very closely. I spoke to him every day, and now we're getting down to kind of the last dribble that remains there, the last like few people. Like all we need to do now is get rid of Dave and Nicole. And
Sebi, it's like those window climbers, those sticky things you throw that click, 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 walk down the windows. There's a couple left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that were just thrown a little bit higher up than the rest.
Good. This is a good question, I think. Fondal. Coach, Mr. Glassman, if you were a CrossFit investor today, what should management do specifically to grow the business?
My sense of it all is that it was a confederation of professional trainers where there was none otherwise. There was nothing in the NSCA certification being CSCS that wasn't suggested, none of that. And so to ask how to make money, like for whom? For the people that are the kind of the caretakers of the mark, make them more money. I never looked at the world that way. And as an investor, I don't see an avenue for dramatically increased revenue that doesn't look like fucking the brand up. I think for an investor, I think the brand is exciting to the extent that you can turn the crank and make money.
Right.
And to the extent that you can't, it's a lemon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that from the investor's standpoint, I think they purchased a lemon.
If I made
it wasn't a fucking business.
if I made the
And
perfect,
just in the same sense, Sebi, what we were doing wasn't a business,
Sorry.
and the successful affiliate, Nadia Shatia in Belltown, Seattle, didn't see herself as a businesswoman. I don't think she was a trainer with an enormous obligation to an extraordinary clientele, impacting them in untold ways. I mean, go on and on and on. But that's and sure, you get paid.
someone said to me the other day, would Greg ever buy it back? And I said, yeah, I'm sure if they like the Dave Portnoy thing, if they offered it to him for $1.
$1.
And I go, but hey, dude, don't think there wouldn't be huge changes if Greg took it back. And the person goes, what do you mean? I go, don't be surprised if he got rid of half the affiliates.
I think half would leave.
Yeah. Like he learned a lot from the first go. And yeah, it's
and maybe this is just part of getting old or something, but I haven't learned anything in the past 3 or 4 years that relates to that doesn't relate to probability theory and broken science, etc. But in terms of the way these things plan out, this all had an inevitability to me. It was after the sale that I got to like, wow, they have no idea what they bought. No idea. Imagine someone buys your car and you give them the keys and you've taken them for a test drive, and then they, you get the check, they get the keys, and they pop the trunk and get in and close it on themselves. And then start yelling about how it's driving. I mean, it's like, fuck.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
That is. It's a good.
You have the keys. You need to push the little button with the, like.
And along that same line, they're not asking the right questions for what's going wrong either, right? Because they're in the trunk and they're still looking for the ignition switch.
They're trying to claw their way into the back seats for like 3 years now.
And that's the culture. That's you have to understand the culture to understand where the front of the car is. Which brings us full circle to Tyson again.
They think their origins were in the DEI bullshit. They think that I was chased off because I wasn't DEI enough. And so let's get rid of this guy and we'll supply all the DEI he wasn't. Mm-hmm. And now what they have, it's not making money. It's still not making money for them. Man, the heart and soul of the thing seems to be in doubt. Joe
Westerland. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Joe.
Morning. I wonder how long it took him to realize that. Like, do you think it was a year in with Rosa that they realized, we might have a problem here? In terms of it acting like a different business, something different than they've ever had their hands wrapped around before.
I think with Rosa was something totally different. I think Rosa was, Van Gogh is a great artist who chopped off his ear, but you don't want your CEO chopping off his ear. I think Rosa just wasn't a fit. I think he was like I just don't think he's.
Do you think they put too much trust in him due to past successes? And they figured, he could do this with a data logic company. It must be easy to do it with this quote unquote fitness company, and then just backed him on it, only to realize, oh shit, we're locked in the trunk of this car.
I'm dying to know if the investors even watch this investment, or if it's just like Haley has some stock in like Coca-Cola that's been passed down from her great grandfather. You know what I mean? And we get a check in the mail every quarter for 2 pennies. You know what I mean? It says from Coca-Cola. It's in my. I wonder if it's like that from
your dividend check.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's fucking hilarious. We have these stack of 2-cent checks, and I wonder if CrossFit's like that for them. If it's just like,
yeah, except for it's not a stack of checks; it's a stack of bills.
Like they might not have any idea, right? The investors.
Well, you
It's
could
like,
tell due to the fact that they're trying to treat what I think is a symptom, which they think that if they put more people into affiliates, somehow that's going to create more value proposition for affiliates and therefore make a stronger business model, which
What
tells
if
you that
what
they
if
don't.
the new manner of operation provides more benefit to other investments than it does for the investor with regard to this particular entity?
say that. I don't understand that. Say that
Yeah, I
again.
know. It's rough. The
Oh, I see what
company
you're saying.
the company used to be a thorn in the side of a lot of powers.
Right.
That's
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a good chunk of economy that's sleeping easy because CrossFit's quit doing things smart or honest or brave.
PepsiCo spends $300 million a year on billboards just for Gatorade. So that's their marketing just for Gatorade, 300 million a year. So you're saying, hey, if you have the competitor to Gatorade, why not just spend $200 million to make them go away?
Look at the rate we were spreading, say, just through the army. The
Yeah.
notion that shit's poison, doing you no good. It's fundamentally isotonic. You're not getting electrolytes. And if you were, you couldn't stomach them. You wouldn't be able to hold them down. What you need is water, and you're going to get your sodium and electrolytes you need from the food you eat.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit's just going to give you heart disease. And the Army was my biggest customer, and we've calculated may have been Gatorade's biggest customer, but still not a big customer in terms of percentage. The Army was a small sliver of what Gatorade's doing, and the Army was a small sliver of what CrossFit was doing. But here we were on the battlefield, will you, hating on one another. And the culture, the CrossFit culture, CrossFit ran through the military the way Falun Gong was through China's hierarchy. The need for eradication of that stemmed through the way it was running through the Red Army and the Communist Party. The idea of kindness, honesty, and perseverance really resonated with a downtrodden, enslaved people. What the fuck? Huh? Imagine that.
The forces that be, Greg has a great example of the forces that be in the U.S. military. There's this organization, I forget the name of it. Greg will remember the name, but they generate, I don't know, almost $2 billion a year from the government, and they provide everything to Air Force bases, like
Well, you're
Coke.
thinking of the
Coke.
Marine one, or no? What's it called?
They sell everything from Coke to weights to underwear. They basically have a monopoly on everything that goes in and out that's purchased by the soldiers on bases. And I remember Greg trying to give free CrossFit equipment to the bases, and this company tried to interfere because they also owned all the big Globo gyms on the bases. And if I remember correctly, they tried to interfere. They did interfere, and they successfully interfered in you being able to give free equipment to the soldiers.
They fought our presence on the base and lost. They fought the donating of equipment and lost. They fought the installation of pull-up bars and lost. And in the end, they got their hands on the gear and then put their name all over it, stenciled, painted their shit on it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
What is it called? KBR, Greg?
No, it's not the company. No, don't want to insult them needlessly, for God's sake. No, it's a quango, kind of a quasi non-governmental organization that everyone thinks is the law. Mulvaney dug into it, and it's interesting. It's run by some ex generals, and it gets a shit ton of money, and it owns all the vending machines on base. The shitty subway on base belongs to them. I mean, it's crazy. You take you on base, go to the movie theater. That's their movie theater. There's an on base veterinarian. It's their fucking veterinarian. So, the family dog in marine housing gets sick. You take them there, and they're the ones running the veterinary concession. You get a deal on Super Bowl tickets because you buy them through them.
Right.
Right? It's crazy. Crazy grip. And you run afoul of them, and life's going to be rough.
Eaton Beaver. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Eaton.
Eaton.
I took my kids to swim in the ocean yesterday, and I hear this really loud. And I'm watching them, and I look to the left, and I guess it sea otter. Is that what it is? Is that what we have? What is that what we have? Yeah.
Smacking his thing on the chest, playing with his rock.
Bam, bam, yeah. Cracking an abalone just right out there next to the kids.
You know, they each have their own rock, and they hide it, and they're territorial about it. And you take my rock, and I'm going to be a pissed off otter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like they find the rock,
the same rock forever.
Wow, I didn't know that. Monogamy with the rock.
They're a trip.
You sent me this video of Victor David Hansen. I didn't know who he's speaking to until you told me Larry Arns, and I sent it around. Arn, I sent it around. I'd love to have Victor David Hansen on the show. What an incredible man! But there's a section in there where he starts talking about war.
Mm.
And he says, do you remember the story? And he's like, hey, if there's 10 of us standing in a room and we all know who the toughest guy is.
Yeah, it comes from ignorance. He said, and fundamentally, he says that someone makes a miscalculation. And Hitler and Tojo had a worldview that wasn't at all consistent with reality. And they got their everything just stomped into oblivion because of it.
But he said the notion of it came from, this was very interesting. This kind of explains the whole hippie movement. And I'm going to take some liberty here. Feel free to course correct me where I'm wrong. But after World War II, there was such a disgust of war that we reached this place in our morality that we weren't going to fight anymore, that we were going to try peace. And when people reach that place in their morality, they actually forget that there's people around you who aren't in that place.
That's
and
right.
Because of your lack of projection of strength, they start doing really horrible shit.
The belief that the world has changed, that we've grown to the point where war will never happen and is no longer necessary, is part of a pacifism that gives potential tyrants a full-blown hard-on for evil. That's how they see the world. That you think that violence is impossible. Perfect.
And that's what took us so long to go stomp on Hitler's dick, because we thought we were morally superior, and a lot of people died because of our moral superiority.
It's a house full of jewels with no lock on the door. No one's home. To the bad guy. Our view of ourselves has to be making the Chinese government aroused with ambition and desire to fuck us over.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Our view of ourselves.
And so while we're over here doing the DEI thing, saying it's okay, minor attracted people is the new pedophile and it's cool, love and peace for everyone, Venezuela's unloading their jails and sending over 10,000 pedophiles.
Right.
Crazy. They know we have weak leadership, and weak leadership leads to an opportunity.
God, it's absolutely wild. That I'll put a link to. I put a link to it in a couple shows ago. I'll put a link to it again, you guys. If you guys want this, you'll really enjoy this.
I mean, the part that I really liked that struck me was when he was talking about people that live in big metropolises and cities start to just become dependent, almost like we're domesticated animals. We can't. There's nothing we could do for ourselves. We have to have everything handed to us. And once that more people continue to congregate in these metropolises, the less and less capable humans we become. And his analogy was like, small independent businesses have a different worldview than people that are just dependent upon government or dependent upon the domestication of themselves inside larger cities. None of us know how to farm. If I was just plopped off and left to my own device, I'd be dead very shortly, right? And I think a lot of us would be. And I think some of that independence creates us as humans. And when we lose it, we just wait for big daddy government to solve the problems, or we sit afraid.
I found that video. How long is it? 12 minutes? What is it, Seb?
No.
It's
I
like
think it's
45.
50. Yeah.
45,
Oh,
50.
jeez.
It's good though. It blew by.
Loaded with pearls, just
Yeah.
loaded. Just
Yeah.
an enormous amount of wisdom. I couldn't let go of you can master Greek and Latin in 2,000 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I can start the clock on that shit. Brett, sit out. I got a timer go.
You guys will really enjoy this. You guys will really enjoy this. I sent it to my liberal friends and conservative friends alike. It's wonderful. It really is wonderful. It gives you a really solid perspective of humanity very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100 years ago, 95% of the people lived on a farm or something like that, and today it's 1%, less than 1%.
And this guy is a preeminent scholar, of the classics, and he fell into it, basically, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Farm kid. His dad sent him to UC Santa Cruz because it was newly opened, close
Yep.
to home, and he got all 3 kids in, and
Yep.
thought they'd give him a break on the tuition.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The other thing too about the farming wasn't just about, it was more or less an analogy too, because what he was saying is like dependent not only on our food supply and other stuff, but the way I was listening to it was without people owning small businesses or owning their own piece, they're also just dependent upon the paycheck of the place that you're working. So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, I'm a farmer, I know how to garden. Yeah, but what happens when your money supply gets pinched by the place you work at? Do you know how to hunt in terms of monetary value in the world that we live in? Because if you don't, you're also just dependent and domesticated. So what he was saying is how many small businesses were independently owned and operated, back in the day as compared to now.
His description of the economics of farming put a sweat on me. I mean, I actually was feeling anxious thinking about looking at your kids and imagine in your attempts to feed the world as the vehicle for feeding your family, how precarious that whole relationship can be. Mm-hmm. And because a crop can fail, you need to have in resources the capacity to get past that. Mm-hmm. What does that look like? Well, it means that you need some supply of capital, right? Mm-hmm. You need money and food stores, and you need a lot of things. For what? Like maybe a year's worth of shit,
right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now you have your Mormon closet kind of mindset and lifestyle. In the San Joaquin Valley, there's a product known as raisin rain insurance. And when the grapes are pulled to make raisins, they're put out on trays. It's just like butcher paper, like white paper. And they call it trays. And the aisles are lined with that, and the grapes are set there. The ones that dry in the sun are the black raisins that you all know. And even a little bit of rain will just fuck up $1 billion worth of raisins in no time. Once they're fucked. And there's almost nothing that can be done. I think they become pig food, and the insurance company steps in. The chances of it raining in the San Joaquin Valley it ain't gonna happen. But if it did happen, and it does, but it doesn't, and it won't, but it will.
But it will.
All the opinions on that are opinions on that. What's known about it in a objective manner is known by the insurance company.
It says here, I looked up raisin insurance. It says insurance coverage begins at the time the raisins are placed on the trays for drying. Yeah. Damage by rain within the insurance period. Damn.
And I sat at a bar in Visalia with a congressman to the San Joaquin Valley who explained to me the economics of the San Joaquin Valley. And it's a thing to behold. But the gross farm receipts of 3 counties exceeds entertainment, oil, tech. Well, on the books, this is California's an ag state, and everything else is kind of nothing. It's maybe almost nothing.
Well,
ag wins every time. Ag wins. They're growing fucking rice in the desert, one of the most arid, driest places on earth. For what, 500,000 acres? It's 3 feet deep in water growing rice for export to Asia. I mean, it's not. How's that for power? And without any kind of embarrassment, it says on it ADM, Archer Daniel Midland. There it is, man. There's your secret. It's illegal for you to water your lawn, but these motherfuckers can grow rice in one of the driest places on earth for export to China, right?
Crazy.
National Review said Archer Daniel Midlands does all of their farming in DC.
With lobbyists?
Yeah. I mean, that's why Boeing moved from Seattle to fucking Arlington, Virginia. So they could triple the price of their stock and planes would fall from the sky. I can't tell you how nice it was to take an Airbus 350 to and from the Airbus 350 that we took from Tahiti to here. The logo is a Pegasus, but the tail is clearly curled like a seahorse. And so this thing is, you get the sense that it's going to fly over the ocean, but if it had to go underwater, it'd be fine. Because that's all there is between takeoff and landing, right? Water.
A Boeing engineer turned whistleblower who contends that the aerospace giant 787 Dreamliner is unsafe to fly due to assembly flaws doubled down on his claims Tuesday, saying that the plane could fall apart and drop to the ground mid-flight unless the alleged safety problems are addressed. This is just a few days ago he said this. I saw the video of this guy basically saying, this engineer saying he wouldn't fly in anything Boeing has. That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
They did it. They did it in no small part with DEI.
Right. 100%.
They improved their ESG score, tripled the stock, and now the planes are falling from the sky. It's a wonderful fucking tale. There's a kid's book here. This is some Tuttle Twins shit. Yeah. Do it, Sevi. Make it the Savosian, the Matosian twins story.
Oh, yeah. You get toothpaste and a book on economics.
On how to make planes fall from the sky.
Yeah, the DEI plane.
Yeah, I was pretty terrified of my flights, especially after our last conversation. You're like, oh, as long as it's not Delta, you're fine. I was like, shit, it's Delta. And then I looked up.
That's not right.
You're on a Boeing. I was like, awesome.
It's wild. Hey, I want to show you this video from Dr. Phil. This guy, Tyler, I think this guy was on the show a long time ago.
He was, yeah. Now he's on Fox News quite a bit. Do you know that?
What's crazy is when I had him on, he was a liberal, like pretty hardcore liberal comedian. And now here he is on Dr. Phil. Check this out. Is your audio good, Greg? Will you be able to hear this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, here we go.
Tyler Fisher claims he has been turned down by 3 agencies because they said they just weren't looking for white men.
Do you think it was just...
By the way, Susan, I just had a friend who works at the largest tech company in the world told that he would not be getting a promotion because they had to give it to a woman. Like he said, he couldn't even believe it. He said it just rocked him. They just said it out loud. We have to give it to a woman.
Justified for me to be told, we can't represent you. You don't have the chance to now compete for jobs because you're white. Yes or no? Was that okay or was that not okay?
I think that what is described by you.
Don't give me your little.
Well, no,
like,
let me finish.
Wrap.
What
Yes
is described
or no?
by you, someone telling you that you can't get that job because you're white, does not sound right to me.
Well,
It's
let's hear what
also
was
illegal,
actually
right?
said. He's
It's
not
illegal.
just making this
But
up.
let me say this.
He recorded the call with an agent he claims turned him down for being white. So let's listen to the call.
is it a policy like explicit that they're not taking on any like white men, or is it like,
Dude, it's like we're living in a Black Mirror episode. You know that show, Greg? Black Mirror?
No.
Could you imagine if what's crazy too is we're all buying stuff from just flip the script, right, and just say, hey, we won't hire people who are black.
Yeah.
If we heard that on the news, and like you wouldn't be, let's say Coca-Cola said that, then you wouldn't be allowed to drink Coke ever again. Like everyone would be like looking around, who's drinking Coke? And we all are supporting companies that aren't hiring people because they're white. Like we're living in like some sort of, we all are. We're all supporting companies. We're giving money to companies that won't hire. It's like we're going to the slave plantation and buying apricots from their fucking wagon. Some people will only buy apricots from the wagon that has slaves. Like some companies love some people love the DEI companies. Oh, you're against white people? I'm going to support you. I mean, just imagine if it were the script were flipped. I can't even believe this is. We're
You mean like going to NBA games?
Yes. All the people who do that.
Films,
Yes.
buying Apple products.
Yeah, those are all people who support.
Oh.
Yeah, all that. I will say this: Apple has walked the fine line better than obviously Disney or the NBA or the NFL. I think.
Oh, geez, Disney. Oh my goodness.
Well, how can they? What are they gonna fucking do? They're making all their shit.
Right.
How much attitude can you have?
People are going out of their way to buy products that want to keep black people as slaves. Sorry, they want to keep white people as second-class citizens. You choose the verbiage. I can't believe it's 2024. You won't get your job because you're white. It is an all-out open war on the white man. Like straight man. Like if you like vagina and you have a penis and you're white. God, I've never been.
I knew.
I'm growing my beard big. What?
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And I said no, and it made me laugh because I'm in an age and a point in life where I'm proud of the pop culture shit I don't know.
Yeah.
And when Fox News was on, and I just happened to look up when Gutfeld was professing that he didn't know who Steph Curry was, and I was really fucking jealous.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was super fucking cool, and I would actually pay money to have never heard of Taylor Swift or never heard her. If I could put coins in a vending machine to just have that, like try to find Swift boats on the fucking internet, you know. My nightmare would be that eventually everything I try to look up, there's some like girl band with that name.
Some cultural icon.
Yeah.
I wonder why this didn't pop up.
Yeah, that's weird. There it goes.
Steph, for those of you who don't know, Steph Curry's a basketball player for the NBA, huge proponent of Black Lives Matter, enormous proponent, a full DEI guy. Not in our backyard. NBR Steph Curry launches opposition to housing for the poor on site near his multi-million-dollar home because he has major privacy and safety concerns with 3-story townhomes looming directly behind their property. The proposal sees 16 townhouses being built directly behind Steph Curry's yard. Neighbors in the ritzy California neighborhood of Atherton also oppose the plan. Curry asked that the tall fences be included in the development plan at a minimum. It's amazing, right? Full blown. I love black people, but don't let them move next to me. Right.
Hey, let's talk about Columbia University without Jews. I told Emily, you can't even think about that without laughing.
Are they suggesting that?
Well, that's what's happening. The rabbis told them all to go home, and the atmosphere is clearly unsafe, hostile, and they're fomenting hatred and violence towards the Jewish students.
Oh yeah, I saw this video of this professor.
And so again, I just want to go back to what would Columbia University be without Jews? And the answer is fucking nothing.
Tarded.
This is like, yes, this is like, and you can't say that. This is like, like just look at the list of Nobel Prizes and then take the Jews off the list. And then say, let's do that to our fucking institution as a matter of policy and raise the tuition rate and saddle you with some government debt that you'll never be able to pay back because you haven't learned anything worth fucking learning. You haven't learned anything true. You have less understanding of how the world works coming out than you did going in. Wow. For a lifetime of debt. I love those kids, those clean-cut kids we met. I had to talk to them because they didn't have soldierly looks, but they had soldierly haircuts, and we're all polite in the surf shop. And they were there. One of their friends. They were from Columbus, Ohio, of all things, right?
Yeah.
But they'd all gone into the trades, and here they are, still teenagers. And they're able to put themselves on airplanes. And, they were telling me the one kid has a nice house, 19 years old.
It was so obvious those kids weren't from California. Just by how kind they were. Yeah, they were just Midwestern good kids. God, the cohort
There's
around
more
here.
opportunities to display your intelligence in home building than there is in academia. More opportunities to express your intelligence. How do you like that? In academia, in most fields, your intelligence can only be expressed by hiding what you know to be real. Your talents for that. That's where your IQ is spent.
In hiding the truth.
Yes.
Yeah. With pretending things like illogical.
Pretending like you don't know what true is.
Right. God, it's an acting class. It's just one. There's just one department at the university, acting.
Think of the tortured souls. That's why they act the way they do.
If you ask any politician, like, are you concerned about like what's going on, the tensions in the Middle East right now around Israel? They all have the same answer. You can see it over and over. Well, we've had an increase in anti-Semitic behavior and Islamophobia. And then, of course, we know that the joke around the word Islamophobia is not even really anything. But I was looking around, and there were like 1,200 protests in the last 365 days in the United States where people were yelling "death to Jews" or "death to America." Do you know how many protests there were where people were chanting "death to Islam"? 0.
I find it laughable that there's this de facto notion that anyone owes any respect for any religion just because it's a fucking religion. Mm-hmm. That's an absurdity just on its own.
Like someone sawing off someone's head in downtown London yelling Allah Akbar, but all of a sudden, if you're afraid of people who are in Islam, something's wrong with you now.
No, I mean, yeah, for sure that, but worse yet, just because 2 billion people practice something doesn't mean I should take my hat off and go, fuck, let's give it some respect.
Right,
mm-hmm.
right.
That's not enough.
Right.
And I said, the guy with no religion. I'm gonna judge religions for you. Put a gun to my head and make me pick one. I'm gonna be a Jew or a Mormon pretty fucking fast.
Right.
That would be if I had to pretend, that I would pretend in the manner they believe what they believe, because I like the impact it has on them.
You like the way if you go to the suburbs of Salt Lake City, that the streets are clean, that people are that there's a community center, that everyone knows everyone. You like that stuff.
Yeah.
That the ladies have 3, 4, 5, 6 kids.
Sebi, if the consequences of reading Harry Potter was some fucking how your kids wanted to diagram sentences and learn calculus, I'd be all about the fucking Harry Potter.
Oh wow. Jeremy Eat World is a Jew and a Mormon. I didn't know that you were half and half.
Juman.
Love it.
Jew, yeah.
Have you seen this clip of this UAE foreign minister in 2017 talking about the political correctness is going to usher in more terrorism than we've ever seen before in terms of Islamic extremists due to kind of this open border thing that's happening?
No, but I'd like to
it's
see it. Do you
push
have it?
that my way. Because I'm going to tell you that political correctness is the bridge from sanity to insanity.
Mm-hmm.
The hole you fall into when you're laying there at the bottom of the hole, what was at the surface is political correctness. And so what we do is tell for a generation, tell kids there's no difference between men and women. And even, I tell you, my little girl says, that's ridiculous. We don't even have the same privates. And I'm like, yep, there's that for sure.
That's definitely the start.
I remember as a kid.
Let me just hear me out. You tell someone there's no difference between men and women for a generation, and you will end up with a generation of children that actually, honest to God, believe that daddy can get pregnant and mommy might have a dick.
Wow.
Why? Because there's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
And what an intellectual handicap. What a fucking anchor. I've got a list of I'm not ready to share it now, but I got a list of clear signs of your delusion, and they all sum to what's really nothing less than some kind of crazy vow of poverty.
Is a septum ring one?
I'll put that right on the fucking list.
I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to punch a hole in that thing that delineates one nostril from the other. What the fuck? Oh my God. I don't ever want that thing touched. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Souza.
No, I was gonna say too that after rereading 1984, the what they were talking about with that new speak and just the more illogical, you could have a group of people agreeing, oh yeah, and you just know it's complete and utter bullshit. Anybody with two eyes could step into the group and go, what are you guys agreeing upon? This could be further from the truth.
Matt, everything we're going through seems like it happened as soon as we got a significant chunk of the population that hadn't heard of Orwell or 1984 or Animal Farm. Because if this were even close to present in your consciousness, you couldn't utter lines like gender affirming healthcare without fucking laughing.
Yep. It's like it's a page right out of the book, right?
It's right out of the fucking book. That's crazy. What Orwell would have called institutionalized, approved child genital mutilation.
Yeah. Yep.
Insurance covered child genital mutilation. Orwell would have called it, let's call this gender affirming healthcare.
Ding, 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 ding.
It fails at each fucking syllable. It's a wonderful creation of vocabulary.
Oh yeah.
Look at Vittorio showing off. If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Look at you. Fucking.
The other crazy parallel with that book is the changing of the who is oppressed and who we're freeing outside of the US. Meaning before it was all Ukrainian and you saw the flags out in front of everybody's houses and there was this whole and we're for this group. And all of a sudden the wind changed and now we're for this group. We're freeing Palestine and this is our main focus. And now everybody's coming out of the woodwork to stop traffic on the Golden Gate and Bray Bridge. So these poor people that are waiting for their heart transplant die. So these people who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about could do some protest with something in a place that they couldn't even exist in because they'd be half of them be slaughtered immediately upon arrival due to their current beliefs.
My liberal friend from Santa Cruz fervently believes that anything that stops Donald Trump is justified and under the rubric of saving the democracy.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't save democracy, this fucking guy's gonna get elected.
Wow.
Crazy.
I don't even like the guy. I'll vote for him for that. I'll vote for him for that. If you think you have to remove him from the ballot to protect democracy, I need to go vote for that motherfucker. It actually takes a lot of the holding my nose away. I can actually breathe deep and vote for the fucker if you think that what's happening to him is in any way, shape, or form legal or anything other than an extraordinary assail on our democracy. And I'm not even the democracy guy. The democracy, that doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm not, I don't want to save our democracy. I want to protect our freedoms, its rights.
Yep, protect the liberties.
And and again, there's a version of democracy that's fundamentally looks like socialism to me. And again, that's A and B deciding what C should do for D and saying we've got the majority. We voted, Sevi, and you need to shut the fuck up. No?
Right.
Yeah.
We voted and you're away.
We're going to take your house. We voted. Everyone in town, we've had 2 elections now.
Consensus science.
You should keep your house. Just one. So here we come. We're going to preserve some democracy once we get your house.
Daniel Wynn, forcing people to deny what they know to be true and or affirm what they know to be false is a well-established method of control.
Why? Yeah, so is making you pull your fucking pants down and cover your eyes. I mean, what do you think the vaccination was about?
Oh my God.
Holy smokes. So you'll find this interesting because a little context in this. Before he was speaking in I probably believe Farsi, and he transitions to English here, and you'll like what the reporter says and when he posts back. Do you think we'll get dinged for this, Sevon?
No.
You
Who
said
cares?
transitioned and I swallowed.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't. Okay.
Okay,
so
here we
you
go.
can understand what I'm saying. I have translation. No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of lack of decision making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance. And
if someone were to stomp the shit out of Iran, there isn't a country in the Middle East, I don't think, that wouldn't have a huge sigh of relief.
They all think that the Iranians are just shit starters, crazy town banana pants.
They believe their rhetoric. They listen to what they say and they understand.
Democracy is 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what to have for lunch.
Right. That's very good.
I like that one. I'll be using that. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. That's an improvement on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should give him back his $5. Tip him $5 for that line. That was good.
Yeah. Come to my house, Daniel, on the May 9th. That's exactly right. That catches the spirit of it.
We're gonna have Richard Johnson on the show soon. I got it.
The nephrologist.
The fat switch dude, yeah.
Dude, he's brilliant. Hey, God, I'd love to call in on that if that were.
Hey, he wants to meet you.
He's met me. I've gone to fucking dinner with him.
Again, he said he wants to reconnect with you. Sorry, he wants to reconnect with you.
Yeah. I've helped pay some bills.
You're a good dude.
No, he's a great man.
Yeah.
That's a very, very important thing he did.
The fat switch.
Remember the day I found out about him?
Yeah.
I haven't had a beer since.
The messenger's dead also.
That's another bizarre thing.
That was the uric acid, right? The uric acid? Yeah.
Yeah. the cascade of that ends up creating type 2 diabetes.
You know, I think he's like the founder of that research. Like that is his research, right? That uncovered that.
Yeah,
I think
for
he's
sure.
like the guy, the preeminent guy on that.
For sure. And
Can you explain that?
nah, I didn't. Not this morning. Maybe by this afternoon. It's the unregulated production of AMP, and it happens in that, and uric acid is a byproduct of that. The production of uric acid is part of it. So that's an underlying cause of gout, and it's really cool. All you trainers out there, you got anyone in your gym that has gout, and they're going to be told all kinds of things they can't eat, salmon and anything with purines and all this shit. And that advice comes out of not understanding the problem entirely. But remove the refined carbohydrate from your diet and the gout goes away every time. And I actually turned Pfluger onto that, Pfluger of the Mayo Clinic.
Right.
And he's like, it's a miracle, make all the gout go away. But there were some other things, not just fructose, that created this cascade that produced the unregulated AMP, but brewer's yeast and MSG will also do it. And I tell you what, man, I grew up with people wanting to find something shitty about MSG and never did. It's kind of like aspartame, not good enough, not good enough. This is it. This is it. Cats will starve to death on fruit unless you add MSG to it. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
They'll say that again. They'll starve what?
Cats will starve to death on a diet of fruit unless you lace it with MSG.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. And cats are 100% carnivores, right?
Yeah, check out the teeth.
Yeah.
We always had fun with carnivore, not cornivore.
Carnivore.
I want to tell you in spirit, and I know Greg will jump in here and take this over. I want to tell you in spirit about this guy. By spirit, I mean, like, I'm not going to get his numbers exactly correct, but this guy was a MD, PhD, Axel Pfluger. I think he was head of the diabetes clinic at the Mayo Clinic for 16 years, and 15 of those years, they were the #1 diabetes hospital in the world in terms of their recovery. And he called Greg and said, hey, can I meet with you? So Greg and I jumped on a plane and went to New York City. And he basically said, I'm quitting my job.
Yeah.
And he goes, why? He's like,
let me back you up here just a little.
Okay. Disregard everything I said. I knew this would get great, but it's important because it's crazy. This is a crazy important story.
He sent an email, and he said that he wanted to meet me, and that he had a proposal that I wouldn't be able to refuse. And right at the moment of deletion, I caught that he was a nephrologist. And I was no more interested in the concept, but I was interested in why a nephrologist would turn to hucksterism. Because that was just my assumption. This deal you can't say no to. But the nephrologist part was intriguing. And so I let him know that I was going to be in DC on business, and that if he wanted to come up from New York, I'd make the time to sit with him. And what he did when we met with him is he provided pretty compelling evidence. At least he was profoundly convinced that we had an elegant solution to the world's most vexing problem. That was the sum of his message. And communicating that was the thing I couldn't say no to. And boy, was he fucking right, So this is a guy who's got a PhD in pharmacology, then becomes goes to medical school and becomes a cardiovascular surgeon, is brought to the Mayo Clinic from Germany where he rises the ranks quickly to like lead cardiology there. And he shows up one day at the dean's office and says, I've made a big mistake. I'm not a cardiologist. I want it's the kidneys. That's the thing, not the heart, the kidneys. And so the dean tells him, all right, we'll let you do a residency in nephrology, but you're going to do concomitantly at the same time, you're going to do a residency in internal medicine because you've got you're my best cardiologist and you've got a PhD in pharmacology. Once you've done nephrology, internal medicine's a push. And he did. So the guy's board certified in nephrology, cardiology, internal medicine, and a PhD in pharmacology.
Wow.
He's running chronic disease at the Mayo Clinic where he says, we don't even know how to metric this shit right. And no one else does either.
And this guy was Arab, right? He was Islam guy?
No, actually a Jew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I want to also say this. He had never done CrossFit a day in his life. Don't think like this is some guy who he knew nothing about CrossFit other than what he researched. He just researched it. I was like, oh, fuck. This guy has the cure. It was a crazy presentation. He had a 45-minute presentation he gave Greg on a computer. I watched it. It was nuts. Put it on a screen, presented to Greg why CrossFit has the cure for the world's most vexing problem. And then he's quitting his job.
Yeah, in diabetes treatment, you have a greater chance of dropping dead than you do getting better. Now, not everyone just drops dead with diabetes. It's a small percentage, but about that many people get better.
Right.
Yeah. Well, everybody I know who's had it has dropped dead only after having legs amputated and living hooked up to a machine in their last days.
You had a family member, right?
Two.
Close.
Yeah. One of them turned to dialysis. The other one turned to prescription drugs.
I do the prescription drugs.
Oh, Jason Fung is a nephrologist. I didn't know that. Wow.
He is. Hey, I've been in critical care situations. So someone's in the ICU and there's really nowhere to stand. That's how involved it is. What isn't equipment is expertise, right? And the little fucker with the bow tie comes in the room and clears his throat, and all debate stops. And it's time for the nephrologist to tell the pulmonologist, the cardiologist, the internal medicine guy, everyone else what happens next, where we're at. Because without profound cooperation from the kidneys, everything else is going to fail. And their capacity for orchestration is, that's the conductor in critical care, in my view, is the nephrologist. And so when I contact Rosen at University of Virginia, I find out not only is he chair of the Department of Nephrology, but he's dean of medicine at the School of Medicine. That makes sense to me. That's who I would put. And they're like the orthopedic surgeons, if we're going to stereotype, are big dudes and usually athletes. And the nephrologist is a little guy with a bow tie that was a chemistry nerd,
I hate stereotypes because they're right. Chris Carter, as a kidney transplant patient, my nephrologist asked how I was keeping weight off and my blood pressure so low. I told him I was doing CrossFit. He seemed shocked. Nephrologists are medical professionals who diagnose, treat, and manage acute and chronic disease problems and diseases, chronic kidney problems and diseases. They also treat associated issues like high blood pressure, fluid retention, and electrolyte and mineral imbalances.
Hey, Ufi Ravenskov is a nephrologist, and he's one of my superheroes.
That's the statin guy?
No, well, he's the cholesterol Framingham.
Oh.
He spoke truth to the realities of cholesterol very, very early, and I've never seen him criticized, refuted, challenged, or discussed by the bad guys. He's one of those people I said, like William F. Buckley, your best approach would be to shut the fuck up. It's like Victor Davis Hanson's critics. Where are they? Like, there's, I got my liberal friend in Santa Cruz. There's no way he's going to sit through Victor Davis anything. Ain't going to happen.
I don't even think He doesn't even come across as a conservative in the videos that I've seen. He just is a logical dude.
He's a
we
personal
should hear
responsibility guy,
you should
though.
hear his explanations for Kamala and Gavin.
Oh yeah, the one on Gavin's amazing. Yeah.
He makes a case for Trump.
Well, the whole thing about not showing weakness, man, and taking this high road with morality, and then people getting killed because you're fucking. It's the same thing with minor attracted persons. You are going to accept everyone and love everyone, even the people who find it okay to rape and molest children. This is insanity.
Look what's being done to women's sports.
Right, fucking bizarre, dude. I send that shit to all my liberal friends. I can't believe they don't fucking. They say it's isolated incidents, Greg. By the way, I did hear that there is a man. I heard there's a masters athlete now, a man who's now competing in the women's in the 40 to 44. I haven't verified it, but I heard that last night, and someone sent me pictures. I can't wait till that comes to a head in CrossFit, because I'll take a strong stand on that one. That'll be fun.
God, I was thinking of a certain games athlete that I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say something inappropriate about figure skating.
Please don't forget. Hey, Kristen Keller, did Greg listen to Tucker on Rogan? No, he didn't. I haven't asked him, but I know he didn't. Thoughts on aliens actually being angels? Listen, naming is the origin of all particular things. And by the way, the foremost expert on aliens and angels was on this show. Go back and watch the show.
That show still gets,
and that show is so hugely
comments and
popular.
views
Yeah, it's probably our
2.5
most
years
popular
later.
show in terms of constant dribble to it. He wrote.
What's the idea? That aliens are angels?
Yeah, it's just like naming shit. Like, yeah, if you like them, they're angels. If you don't like them, they're aliens. Yeah, it's just the same. You know what I mean? It's like that's like saying, did you know that Irish people are really German? It's like you can use any word to name anything.
Or the Jews are leaving Columbia University.
Right.
That makes me laugh.
Yeah, and you can call in Doodle Bob. Yeah, I'm always accepting calls. We're always accepting calls.
Just got to know the number by heart.
I'm not accepting of everyone. Well, kind of. Some people I'm accepting. Some people have to be handcuffed in my presence. I don't even know where the phone number is anymore. How come your phone works so well? How come when I forward my phone to your show, it works so well, but on my show, it doesn't work?
I don't know. I haven't heard the breakup at all. And so I'd asked to have a Cat 5 line brought in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have a real high throughput rate, but with some latency or intermittency. It's like that microwave link we had in Santa Cruz, blistering fast, but it broke up a lot, but it didn't matter for downloading movies or media.
Right.
But anyways, I had a Cat 5 cable installed, and I'm sitting here. I could hold it up if I needed to, but my favorite computer doesn't have a Cat 5. In it. So I need a Cat 5 to
adapter from USB-C to Cat 5.
Yeah, and I'm sure such a thing exists, right?
Yes, man? yes. I have a bunch of them.
Right.
I have one in every bag. I'll send you one.
Okay.
And of course, it's
But I didn't need it, so maybe just the installation of the cable into the
just near your computer.
Yeah, here it is. It's in the room, and so now we have a connection.
The threat of it being plugged in. It's probably like a 6 cent piece of plastic that Apple charges $49.99 for.
Yeah, it's like I even have one into a phone right here.
Look at that.
You can hook Susan and I have been running tests of hooking HDMI cables up to the new iPhone, so you can just use them to stream perfect footage if you have enough light. We ran some tests the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of this one. Emily, hi. Seven, I went to a 9-year-old's birthday party, and all but 2 of the kids had phones while texting, calling, internet access. I was shocked. Holy shit.
Not only do my kids, I don't want them having iPhones. I don't want them to have friends that have iPhones.
Right. Right. Hey, that's where my kids learn all their shit from other kids, the crazy shit. I'm like, how'd you learn that? They're like, so-and-so told me. I go, you've been swimming in the ocean with them. He's like, yeah, he told me while we were out there swimming. Like, the idea of aliens as angels would resolve the problem of real beings that are not constrained by physics, unless they come from Uranus.
Oh, those are the worst kinds of those not constrained by physics. My daughter Caitlin said she didn't fear ghosts, and I asked her why. And she says, "Well, they can't hurt you." I go, "How do you know that?" She says, "They walk right through the wall."
Yeah, right. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I remember having that thought as a kid. If he hits you, he misses every time.
Right.
Yeah,
They can't
what's
even
he gonna
pick
do?
up a gun or a knife or anything. Can't push me, nothing. And
Yeah.
what she's describing is her grandfather's understanding of the contradiction between religion and science, in that there was none.
There was no contradiction.
That's right. And that's what allows someone to be out of your mind Muslim and still make a bomb, a hydrogen bomb.
Mm.
You can believe all kinds of stupid shit and understand physics well enough to make a nuke. You can think you need to make a nuke to make the shit in your holy book come true.
My wife just sent me a text correcting me on something.
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah, I get those. I'll show you how to block that.
But she sent it with a smiling emoji, so
Of
it's
course. Of course.
so it's
not-
nice.
It's not what you said, it's how you said it.
Yeah, let me see. If I'm gonna get unfucked here in a second. No. Hey, so you're coming to town?
Yeah.
I don't mean to tell your private life, but actually I don't care. Can we talk about chickens for a second?
Yeah.
How close are, because I'm so interested. So tell me about what you're doing with chickens in Santa Cruz.
Well, I got as a wedding present a pair of fucking goats.
Yeah, that was horrible. That made me not like that person, even though I like that person who bought you goats. I was like, why the fuck would you do that?
Your friend gives.
Is that what rich people do to each other? They fuck each other with goats?
Yeah, I was. You get her.
An elephant. Oh, you want to buy me 2 goats? Here's a baby elephant.
Here's a pack of llama.
Yeah. Okay, so you got 2 goats.
We got 2 goats, and when we weren't there often, the goats they need attention, and I'm not talking about their pen cleaned and fed. They need companionship.
Yeah, you would let them out and they would play in the yard and shit. I remember that. It was cool.
They'd hang out with my Borble.
Yeah, they were cool.
The 3 of them would just chill. She was just a giant goat. It's funny. They would rear up on their rear legs and blast into her at almost 200 pounds with impunity. But they'd raise up, just kind of shift into their feet about to come up and look at Rip, and then not that one, and change their mind. And he'd look at him like, "Were you about to jump on me?" Like, my 30-pound Labradoodle would take down a 45-pound goat at the speed of fucking light.
And like hump it, take it down, or like attack it, bite it.
The goat's running this oval and figure 8 is faster than you'd ever think a goat could go, and the 30-pound dog's right behind, and then all of a sudden the dog kicks on the afterburner and they're both tumbling, and as it comes to a stop, the goat's neck is in the dog's mouth, and the goat's eyes are like, "I'm fucked. He's got X's on his eyes. He's given up. There's no kick. I'm fucking dead." Right? Maggie gets to the assemblage of dog and goat before I do, and starts pulling hair from the dog's face to get him to let go. And the goat from that moment on is like, didn't look at Rip. Knew better.
Yeah.
Because he was going to eat the goat. 35-pound dog was going to eat a 45-pound goat.
And just so you guys know, Greg had a 200-pound Borble. Like it was the most incredible dog ever.
she'd sit out on the lawn with her feet crossed in front and watch rabbits graze 3 feet from her, just trip on them. And when we'd leave, she'd go post up with the goats and just hang out. Loved the cats, and my cats would do nothing but just make her nose bleed.
It was
And
the most
her
incredible
tail would
dog.
wag so hard as she was getting her nose dissected by a cat.
I can't believe you haven't got another one, to be honest with you. That was such a good. I mean, mine's great. The one you helped me get is incredible. It's the best dog I ever had. Terrifying, terrifies people. Terrifying.
Yeah, it's Sevy's pet. You got one hand on your dick, and the other hand you're kind of just letting out there, letting it smell. Right?
Dude, it's incredible. What
That's
an
the protocol.
amazing animal.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not just saying that either, people. If you can, you have to spend time with the dog, or else it will fucking take over your shit. But what an incredible dog. Okay, sorry. So chicken. So the goats are gone. You gave the goats away, right?
Yes. Yeah, gave the goats away to Mark, and we're going to convert the slab and goat pavilion into a chicken pavilion.
And are you going to get them? I'm assuming you're just going to go to the store and get like 20 babies.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is get the structure built, and then we'll talk about, residents. When, how many, all that, but none of that makes sense until it's ready, right?
Have you seen the variety? I'm sure you have, of chickens that are out there. There are some fucking wild looking
It's
chickens.
crazy. In North 40 in Coeur d'Alene sells a tremendous variety of chickens.
I have a feeling you're going to get some weird ones. God, there's some that are just incredible.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah. It's I can't even believe the variety that they come in. And then so you'll have eggs there and you won't be there. So I'll have to go up and eat the egg.
If I can find someone that'll come and work that, yeah, we'd set that up.
Yeah, I'll manage your eggs and manage your cocks. Are you going to have any boys? Do you have boys?
I think you have to.
You have to have one?
I don't know. I don't know shit about chickens.
You know the story about the Coolidge
Well,
effect?
the bees too, So I'm gonna let Kara know that we're coming up, and I'll have Rhett with me.
Do you know about the Coolidge effect?
I've heard of this. Tell me, refresh me.
Calvin Coolidge, the president. So he was visiting some like 50,000 acre government farm, and he went there with the first lady, Mrs. Coolidge, and they were taking a tour of the farm, and they separated ways, and so they took sorry, okay.
Keep going. I'm gonna grab another beverage. Keep talking.
So they take the Mrs. Coolidge, the first lady, into where the their prize rooster is, and they said, Mrs. Coolidge, this is our prize rooster, and she said, how many times a day does he have sex, or something like that? And they said, 300 times a day. And she said, make sure you show this to Mr. Coolidge. So the president comes in, later when he's on his section of the tour. And Mr. Coolidge, Mr. President, Mrs. Coolidge the first lady wanted us to show you our prize rooster. He has sex 300 times a day. The president looks at the rooster, looks at the guy. He's like, with the same chicken? They said, no, sir, with 300 different chickens. He's like, all right, make sure you let Mrs. Coolidge know that. And became this phenomenon that there's been studies around it where the refractory period of primates goes away. Like you could be like, well, the refractory period of a penis after it ejaculates is like 18 minutes. But if you bring in new females, there is no refractory period. And so and the studies have shown that like you can have a monkey and it can have sex with a female, and there's not enough females you could bring in, and the penis will just continuously get hard as long as you bring in new females. And then it became the Coolidge effect. No one's ever tested that to its extreme from any of the studies that I've looked at. You're into nephrologist. I'm into the Coolidge. We're different. Science.
Someone with students' parents' tuition money introduced a vending machine that dispensed raisins and a currency, some token that you put in the vending machine. and left that with primates, put a thick coin in, and out came some raisins, and then you toss the coins into the monkey pavilion, and in surprisingly little time, there becomes an exchange for pussy for tokens for raisins.
No shit.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh my
So the chicks have the tokens, and the guys are on a little bit of a diet,
Right.
but the pussy's flowing.
Wow.
Monkey pussy. I think we can talk about that.
Capitalism.
Yeah, there it is.
Crazy. Daniel Wynn. Well, Daniel's full of one-liners today. Foul play.
Well done today, Daniel.
You know, I've never listened to Joe Rogan, and maybe not any other podcast either.
You've seen clips though, right? Like you could pick him out of a crowd. Could you tell the difference between him and Dana White, you think?
No.
Yeah. I used to have trouble with that when I first started.
Yeah, I get
Probably,
that.
yeah, that makes sense.
Either did that one lady that interviewed Dana White recently.
But Dana, I don't have recollection of Dana speaking disparagingly of me. And Joe has.
Right,
you know,
right, right,
but
right.
Little disappointing. Like he let Frazier get away with all the money he's made me.
Right.
Oh
right.
God.
Get into that.
Oh
It's
fuck.
like fucking morons, a pair of idiots.
Right.
Idiot interviewing an idiot.
Right.
That was disappointing.
If it wasn't for LeBron, there'd be no NBA. Thank God for
That's
Steph.
truer.
Thank God for
That's closer to true.
Thank God for Steph Curry.
Yeah, King James does more for the NBA than Frazier did for CrossFit.
Did you see the greatest female basketball player who's ever walked planet Earth has now signed with the NBA? I think like her 5-year she got like a 5-year contract and she doesn't get paid more than $100,000 any of the years.
Yeah.
Frazier needs to dust his slippers off and compete as a woman.
Dude, I
Get a
would
Nike
be.
deal. He could be big. Again,
I agree. That would be amazing. I would
Yeah.
so
That'd be
support
something.
that. I would so support
I'll
that.
give him 100,000 just like
If he
right
does
up
it.
front is a
Yeah.
sponsor. Broken Science will sponsor. He can wear the big Broken Science thing, and
That's fucking amazing. Hey, dude, you should start with, you should start with. There's probably some Canadian athletes who take you.
and
up
you
on
know
that.
what? And if the mothership gets in his way, I know the lawyer to use.
Yeah, perfect.
They're waiting. Everyone's ready.
Yeah.
It's his. The money's on the table. Matt, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think you should open it up to anyone who
He
can
made
win.
he made me all that money, and I wouldn't even introduce myself to him when he was in my house or something.
Oh man. Tisk.
Imagine not knowing you're not part of the business.
Holy shit. The more
You're the fucking goldfish in the tank at the Thai restaurant, thinking you're responsible for everyone being there.
Oh shit!
because they come by and look at you for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Because you do that trick. You do the
Yeah,
you do the tricks.
everyone that comes in taps on the glass.
Oh shit.
As long as we're here tapping on the glass, let's get some fucking Tom Kaka.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Imagine that though. I mean, I put myself in it. I'm just like, it's amazing. And Joe Rogan, yep, that's a hell of a fish. Look at all the fucking people at the Thai restaurant.
It was disappointing with Joe because you would have thought that he would have known better. So that just almost seemed like a purposeful dig. At least maybe I give him too much credit.
He took a long. He was not the 4 years ago. He's not the Joe Rogan he was today. He has really come out of his shell. There was some significant cowardice. I mean, watching him fumble around COVID was pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Was pretty fucking wild.
I greatly admire and respect his success. I think
Me too.
I think it's really cool. And I think I see him as self-made.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, like my favorite political candidate, Bobby Kennedy, he's also has demonstrated the capacity for growth, intellectual growth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think he's fighting the good fight now, and I loved how he survived the whole cancellation thing. I wish he wouldn't have apologized, but yeah, he's fucking amazing. There's he's fucking amazing. I think someone just in the comments said I look like this guy.
There's another thing here.
If I hadn't have found CrossFit, this is probably what I'd look like.
In the name of democracy, Bobby Kennedy can't be given Secret Service protection.
Yeah.
And in the name of democracy, you can't let his name on the ballot. You know why? People will vote for him.
Right.
And that will fuck up the democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to keep Trump and RFK Jr.'s names off the ballot to protect democracy. Otherwise, the democracy guy won't get elected.
The reduction of your choices to protect your choices. That's
Yes.
it.
Like the Jewish professor banned from campus for his own good.
That's right. Jeez. Hey, why do you think Joe completely misses the envelope with CrossFit? Everything on paper would seem like he would endorse it like crazy, and it would be perfect for him. Any speculation on why he just completely misses the boat on it?
Because his training and area of expertise involves grown men kicking each other in the face, and it's not the best place to learn anything about anything except kicking people in the face. Talk about the school of hard knocks, man. That's it. How many chicken fights do you have to go to before you understand physics?
Yeah, I don't know if you ever would, huh?
Well, I think you could after a while. That bird's too heavy to fight. You know, I think.
But Greg, it's you. But every high end UFC fighter or jiu-jitsu practitioner, they all do some CrossFit.
I
mean, Holly Holm was using rings, and she's
the moment of arrival for me was when people were talking shit on CrossFit, standing there in a gym where I see Concept 2 rowers, rings, Olympic weights,
Dynamax
right?
wall balls. Yeah, Dynamax
Wall ball
medicine
targets.
balls. Yeah.
And I'm a douchebag and don't know what I'm talking about. Fine. Show me what you do with that shit in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to when I found out that at the NSCA headquarters, they had a leaderboard on a girl named workouts. I'm like, God, CrossFit's dangerous, CrossFit's stupid, CrossFit's not science, but it's what we do.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
No one has challenged for a moment anywhere that I'm aware of. Constantly varied high-intensity functional movement increases work capacity across broad time and modal domains. I've not had it suggested that there's no substance there. I rarely am asked to have it explained. Eyes gloss over when you start producing a work curve and explain that the area under the curve is the work capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Graphing power, that is, and integrating, looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, if Joe reached out to you, would you go on his podcast?
Yeah. I've always been willing to talk to anybody.
Right.
You know, I mean, I was even stupid enough to talk with the New York Times and
right.
But geez, they'll understand. I mean, if they just listen. This was the beauty of Emily Kaplan. She made the New York Times listen. My ex sniffed out what the negotiating figure was on the company, found some backers, put in an offer at a quarter of that, and then ran to the New York Times and said everything that's being said about him is true, and I can testify to it.
Mm.
Who said that?
My ex.
Oh.
Got a pilot to publicly state a bunch of bullshit too. It was interesting. It's like, they're working together. How do you know? I go, they have the same story to tell, and it's patently, absolutely false, completely false. If 3 people tomorrow morning say you've been raping little boys all over town, I can, and it's not true. That means they talked.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go! Big fat lie. That's what collusion looks like.
I'm trying not to say anything negative about your.
I know. And there was a third person, and they're all well known. All 3 are known to the community. There is no lie they will not tell.
Yeah.
If they think they see a pot of gold at the end of the lying fucking rainbow.
Christian Keller, if Sevon looked like Emily, this podcast would finally take off. Understood.
She's great. I just recently pointed her at something that it's like, dogs that are like insane on the Frisbee.
Yeah.
They just see one and it's like,
yeah,
they lose their minds.
Yeah.
She's that way on A Good Story.
I know exactly what story you're talking about.
And it's like, hey, check this repugnant shit out. And next thing you know, man, she's on the phone talking to people that I wouldn't have thought you'd ever, like, I can't imagine picking up the phone and digging that hard.
Hey,
you think he'll take your call? We already talked.
Did I wonder if when Joe Rogan had that, someone took like any time he had said any racial slurs and put them in together in a video, and then it was shown, and then all these people chimed in, and one of the people that chimed in was Jocko Willink, and he basically, with the way he chimed in, like, he's like, Joe's a good guy, but he's got a drinking problem and a drug problem, and like, I'm concerned about the mushrooms he takes, or it was something like that. And I remember thinking, God, I wouldn't want any friends like that. Like, hey, either don't say anything or be like, fuck you. I like what Israel Adesanya said. Joe can say whatever he wants. Fuck you. He's my boy. And, but I wonder if Joe's going to weigh in on the Jocko Willink thing. Cause I've seen a bunch, I know that they're friends. Like, I've seen videos of them outside of the workspace, like, shooting bows and arrows and shit like that. I wonder if he's going to weigh in on that. Give his 2 cents. I'm very, very curious. I mean, I'm sure it's come across Joe's table, all the drama going on around Jocko.
And you characterize that for me, and be careful. I don't want to.
Well, what's funny is I brought
yourself undue harm, and more importantly, I'm not here to say that that P. Diddy has done anything wrong. I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I bring up P. Diddy's name, and no one defends him. You bring up Jocko's name, and everyone's like, hey, if you don't know the facts, you shouldn't be talking about it. And it's like, hey, I kind of get that. I don't want to drag someone's name through the mud, but it is a story that I've heard at least 10 times a year since I've been with CrossFit, that Chris Kyle's suspect. I mean, I've heard it from 20 different people. And so then when I found out that Jocko was Chris Kyle's commander, things got a little weird. But I haven't listened to Jocko. I guess Jocko addressed it. But more importantly, I'm just curious what Joe would say about it. I'm curious, like, hey, is he going to stand up for his buddy? Or if he does stand up for his buddy, how does it, maybe he doesn't stand up for his buddy, or I'm just curious. And fuck, I don't want to I'm not interested in fucking being involved anywhere where there's killing people. So fucking, like, I don't mean to judge Jocko, like, in that way. Like, hey, if I'm sitting on a rooftop and my job is to kill people and I kill the wrong person, I want forgiveness. Like, oops, you know what I mean? Like, I fucked up things in my job before. There just happens to be some people's lives on the line when you're in the military, right?
I had the guy in.
Let's wait. Let's wait.
Hey, let me just.
But I do want to hear Joe's take on it. I do
let
want to
me
hear Joe's
share
take on
this
it.
with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
This current story you're referring to.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you know why it's going to voicemail? The call. Sorry, it's because I have it forwarding to Sousa's phone. Sorry. Go ahead, Greg. Or don't.
this is there's really nothing new about this story.
Right. Right. It just
And,
surfaced. It just surfaced.
And I as a contractor, had the head of NSW insist I get involved in what you would call this controversy. Insist that I do so. And I refused to. And as he promised me, it cost me my gig.
This exact controversy.
This exact issue.
Yeah.
Exact
And this is 10 years ago.
Longer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because some people, some people were concerned about how I was talking about it on some other shows, and I was like, I didn't want to say like, hey, I've heard this story. I know some stories.
I've heard nothing new in any of this.
Right. Fair. Okay.
No new facts.
No new facts. Yeah. And you knew of the stories 10 years ago from.
Dude, I had both sides explain it to me.
Right. Both sides.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Caller, hi.
Hi. I called like a couple weeks ago with Greg on about my overweight niece.
I remember.
And yes, okay. So I do have an update. That's why I wanted to call back in.
Super cool. You did it.
Well, it's on a good track. And there was basically her mom had a huge, like horrible health scare. Like we thought we were gonna lose her.
That'll do it.
And it resulted in my mom, and it was kind of like, my mom's not religious. I'm not super religious, but it was kind of one of those weird things. My mom, she hadn't responded to one of my mom's texts, and my mom just had a gut feeling something was wrong. And she had called all the people living in her house, and she has like 6 people that live in the same house as her, and none of them would check on her. She was like, can you check her bedroom? Can you check her bedroom? And nobody would check on her. And then she finally got someone to, and she was just completely unconscious. She had a heart attack, and she's not even 30. And they took her to the hospital.
Sorry, this is your sister or your aunt?
She's my cousin, but she was like raised with me. So my mom, yeah.
Okay.
So she, really bad. And then my mom and my mom's sister, my aunt, took her in, and they said, we need to have a plan because you're not even 30 and you have a kid. Like, this can't happen to you. And their part of the deal was my mom and this is bad, but this is honestly her only way. But for her, they were going to get her on Ozempic because she's just not going to lose any weight anytime soon with what she's doing. And we don't trust her to do it on her own. And so that's her step. But for her daughter, which is the real concern, my aunt signed her up for soccer, and she had her first game. And after 2 months of soccer, she's going to do gymnastics, which was my
Does she like soccer, or is she going out there being humiliated?
She loves it.
Awesome.
She loves it.
Awesome.
And there's so many videos of her just running around, and she's having a great time. And my mom says that they're also going to support her money wise. So they said that they're going to give her, I think, 50 pounds for every 10 pounds of weight loss, $50 for every 10 pounds of weight loss that she has. And then for her daughter, but that's only on the continuation that her daughter is in sports. And I'm the one that recommended gymnastics. And this sounds bad, but I did dance all growing up as a supplementation for my sports. And without even anyone bullying me or anything, you look at people in tiny little outfits and you think, why don't I look like that? And so I think that will hopefully like subconsciously motivate her of like fitness and health, and you want to look like your peers, like you just want to. And I know gymnastics has tiny little girls. So that was my idea there, but she's currently in soccer and she's going to do gymnastics next.
Are you walking upstairs?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Congratulations, but it doesn't sound like we had any positive impact here, which means you're not likely to call my mom for me and tell her she has to be a mean bitch.
When you said you were going to...
I think I was going to do like you said, an intervention, but then the intervention kind of just happened on its own with her health scare.
Perfect.
Hey, what's her job? Yeah. Can you tell me what her job is?
She's a nurse. Yeah.
In what state is this?
They're from California, in Orange County.
Yeah, man. She needs to be walking like fucking 10 miles a day where there's not a refrigerator. I mean, that's the whole thing about why walking's so fucking great, because you can't really be eating while you're doing it.
Yeah, that was
the walking.
Brought up.
I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, I just think like going on long walks, part of the blessing of it is you're not in your fucking house near the refrigerator, fucking making trips to fucking drinking Cokes and fucking eating handfuls of fucking pistachios.
Well, her biggest issue is she spends all her money door dashing food to work.
Wow.
She doesn't even buy groceries. She only eats out.
She should
get considered deleting the app.
She should delete the app.
I mean, we could tell her that, but she just says, "Oh, I can't make food on my own to bring to work. I can't do it."
I got bad news for you.
What's that?
Doesn't sound like it scared her enough.
I mean, that was what I told my mom. She was scared at first, and it was like, I'm going to change my whole life. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, we'll see. It was that way, a couple times with a couple different, this one was the worst, but she's had a lot of instances where she's like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to get back on track. And it just doesn't happen. It lasts for like a week. And then, yeah. But the biggest thing for me was not letting her daughter fall into that.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
There's an unexplored angle here, and it gets to my, eating with the hands versus a fork versus chopsticks.
Right, versus two hands.
Yeah, no one's 800 pounds with chopsticks.
Right, right. Oh,
it's almost impossible with a fork.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger you are, the more likely is you're doing it with your hands.
Mm.
The fork's an impediment to the intake. And so maybe we get people like, don't touch your food. You have to use the fork. And then after a certain amount of time on the fork, you go to the fucking chopsticks.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Hey,
I chopsticks spearing the food isn't cool. That's not copacetic.
I'll never forget when you told me you can't be over 400 pounds unless you eat with both hands. And I was like, wow, that's fucking amazing. That is wild.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that when you were doing the fork, chopstick, hand analogy. I was like, you're right. Majority of the bad food is just going to come.
Like you're eating a hamburger while you're reaching for the fries.
That's right.
Or you have a shake in one hand and the burger in the other. You don't even set the shake down.
Yes, you have to learn that you're multitasking. There's a stuffing hand and a hand in acquisition mode.
Yeah,
and they're taking turns. It's shift work. It's highly coordinated.
My only thing with her on that is that I don't even know if at least DoorDash gives her portions on what she orders, because she can only eat what she ordered. When she lived right after the heart attack, she stayed with my mom at her house for a week. And my mom was saying it was just like she was just eating all day. And
how much does she weigh again? How much does she weigh?
She's only like 5'1". I think that's important to note. And she weighs like almost 400 pounds now.
Oh, this is So she's got a girth in excess of height.
Yeah.
Oh, her circumference. If you straightened her out. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And my mom just said that it was just like they would go eat at, you know, some, like my mom would make dinner and they would just, can I have a granola bar? Can I have a granola? And they would just be eating everything in the fridge all day. And another thing and so my mom was just like, it's not even like if she buys groceries, I feel like she would just eat them all in a day. Like it's that, you know, that doesn't even help her there. And then the environment, because at least my mom, I heard my mom on the phone sometimes like, stop eating. Like she was literally like, yelling at them. And but
dude,
her
you
environment-
convinced me that maybe she should be on Ozempic.
yeah, that's why my mom said that. It's just like there's nothing you can do there.
When you said you did something harsh, I pictured you like tying her to the rear bumper of a car and like putting it in drive and like walking her around the neighborhood. That's what I thought it was going to like, force her to walk.
Have you made any progress on the M&M dropping drone?
No, but I'd like to. Dollar bill dropping drone
and M&Ms.
Yeah. My God. Hey, you know what's crazy? I think that that there's a significant amount of the population that's in the same situation your aunt is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like significant.
You're a saint for caring and for knowing what's wrong and for struggling to find the right inputs. I admire you for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean,
on what sounds like some victory here, some success.
And get ready to adopt a child.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. And hopefully the next time I call, the update will be even better. Hopefully more progress.
Yeah. And,
you know, good direction.
Advice from us on how to interact with your family. We're all too willing to experiment with something that actually matters only to you, you know? Yeah, go ahead, have an intervention. I'll listen in. Tell her this.
I mean, if it wasn't for the heart attack, that would be what was needed. So it was good advice in a sense. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Have a great workout today. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'm going to see you in a couple days.
Yeah.
Yep. Saturday or Friday?
What's today? What's this, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, probably more like Friday-ish. I've got to get around and do a few things, and I need to be in, of course, in Santa Cruz on the 9th, and then I got that gig in LA on the 7th.
My buddy with the Pringle can is coming on Friday with his kids. So if he's around, I'll bring him over, and the kids over. We can all hang out.
That sounds cool.
We call him Big Dick Chad, but I just
okay. Got the Pringle can thing, and I love how you just took it home right there. There's.
All right. Goodness. Thanks, Greg.
Hey, I'm going to show you something.
Please.
Diagramming the scriptures.
That's like diagramming the Bible?
Yeah. All of the examples are King James examples.
Really? I was just joking. Serious?
And the
47.
Says about Kennedy for Common Sense 2024.
Sevi, what are Greg's top 4 smells? If you're asking, you know what? When you say that, what's interesting is I've been with Greg intimately for 15 years. And I've never smelt you. Now, he's told me my hair smells like cat piss. I'm sure he's told me I need to take a shower before. I should have gone to HR many times just for how it tells me I smell. But I've never smelt Greg ever. He doesn't smell like anything. He doesn't smell, and I have crazy smelling capabilities. Yeah, I've never smelled like even detergent on you. I've never smelled your breath.
I can't do the fabric softener or those dryer sheets.
I've never smelled anything good or bad on you. You might be a ghost.
Right to the wall.
Ask Caitlin if ghosts smell.
That's probably all they got.
Yeah.
All they're capable of.
Someone knows what the moon smells like from Earth. Yeah. I mean, I just point it.
No, that's Maggie.
Because she's pregnant. They know all that shit when they're pregnant.
One of my kids farts and she'll call him out by name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She knows the different parts.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
I got the dog shit in here. She's that's reason. I'm like, what the fuck? She's so like, I'm like, how do you know? She goes, I'm smelling it. Wow.
That's impressive.
It's a skill I don't want.
Do I smell or throw better to tie?
Oh, that's great.
All right,
Sebi
Greg.
can throw. Sebi can throw.
I know. I've told them about my throwing capabilities. And I've made a few videos, but
Hey, you can't throw a frisbee without being easy to teach how to throw a punch or row or throw someone in jiu-jitsu.
True.
These things all have more in common than the practitioners realize.
what's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Awesome. Good to hear from you.
Hey, so I talked to you, I don't know, a couple months ago. I had said about how I learned CrossFit in prison, like from Men's Health and watching like ESPN. And I was talking to a friend who's now in the Colorado system. He got transferred out there. And he was telling me he's in a low security unit. And two guys who teach the CrossFit classes on a regular basis, they're actually lifers.
They've been on the
but
show.
Minimums in Colorado, from Colorado?
Yeah, from prison. Those guys came on the show. When I first started this podcast, it was a crazy podcast. I started crying. It was so
Are you
sad.
for real?
Yeah, they've been on the
Yeah.
show. I'd love to have those guys back on again. It was a wild show.
Mm-hmm.
So you already know about that. I thought that was insane. So like my friend who's been in for 30 years, we were in another penitentiary together. He's now doing CrossFit 3 times a week. And I'm like, how do these guys who are never going home getting their ones? I think it's awesome, but I'm like baffled. I mean, I couldn't come up with $100 when I was in. How
Hey.
did someone come up with a...
And let me say something positive about Matt Fraser. When Matt Fraser works with these guys too. Matt's reached out to these guys and done a lot for these guys. I know we were kind of pooping on Matt earlier.
Told me that sooner. Now I have a thing. Now I have a Matt Frazier thing.
But when
Goldfish
when I
nose
had these guys Matt, these guys who are doing life in prison and they're going from penitentiary, they got switched. That was part of their story too. Some unheard of thing happened because they were teaching CrossFit to people. They got to switch prisons and teach it to other people. You know, some people will say that they're a girl when they're really a dude to switch prisons and get some pussy. These guys picked up CrossFit to switch prisons. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the hard road. Yeah, I just thought that was awesome. But how, I was curious, can you give me, like, how do these guys get their L1s though?
Probably Greg sent
process?
a trip. Maybe Greg sent, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Greg sent a trainer in there and a bunch of people got an L1 for free. I remember Greg and Haley used to have some prison companion shit going on. I don't remember the details of it.
It's been a lot of interaction with the inmate community.
Yeah.
Almost all
That's
of it.
pretty cool.
Wonderfully touching, impressive.
Oh, look at Jake Chapman. Matt Matt paid money to stay the night in the cell with them. That's not true.
Oh my goodness.
That's rough.
I know for myself, like it helps with everything in there. When you can exhaust yourself physically, it just makes you that much stronger mentally while you're in there, and it doesn't make the years fly, but it makes the years much better because it makes you want to concentrate on what's really important. So
my friend Craig was framed for a murder. And my friend Mike was a witness to the framing as a cop and committed 30-something years of his life to getting my friend Craig, who was framed, out of jail, and pulled it off after 30 years. Cost him a marriage, cost him a job, cost him a career.
Holy shit.
And it's the most heroic thing I've ever seen a man in uniform do, a first responder. It makes running into a burning building or stepping in front of a bullet look like kids play, like an impulse. Because what Mike did was got up every morning for 30-something years saying, I have to get this motherfucker out of jail. He didn't do it, and I know it. And he finally, 37 years, Craig sat convicted of a double homicide of which he had nothing to do. And listen, he's not it's not like one of these guys like, well, if it wasn't that, it would have been something else. He didn't even have any traffic offenses. He'd served in Vietnam and he'd worked at Denny's, and that was it. And the fucking guy did 37 years for a double homicide. And by the way, the two guys are best friends. And Mike was always like, what are you doing this weekend, Mike? I'm going to go see Craig. Like, really? You know? What are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to go see Craig's mom. Craig's mom died. Craig's dad died. I'm going to the funeral. And Craig's out now, and he's on a home buying spree because he's filthy rich. Because guess what? He got framed for a double homicide. And nobody in LA County, Ventura County, or the state of California gave a flying fuck about it until Mike made him care. And all it took, he said, at the point you go, okay, what do you got? It took 90 minutes. Oh my God, he's been framed. He's been fucking framed. Same story, same narrative, no new evidence. It's always been there.
Wow.
And he sat in jail for 30 years unnecessarily.
Yeah, and the cop that framed him has a huge congregation. He's a man of the cloth now. And he's got a huge congregation in the San Fernando Valley.
My Tanya's saying it's episode 74. So that's fucking
I'm gonna go back and look
1,300 episodes ago. Or
that's crazy. Yeah, the state that I live in, you have it's like a 90% chance of being convicted and put into prison once charged. There's no watchdog at all in New Hampshire whatsoever. And so nowhere where you go, it doesn't benefit a judge or a prosecutor to be proved wrong or show that they're wrong, or a jury that they're wrong, or whatever it is. So that's why men like him stay in there for 37 years. And I don't care if he gave him billions, 37 years is not worth anything.
Of course not.
I'm glad he got whatever he got, and he's on a home spending spree, and he's not out just blowing coke. He's going and buying houses, and he's doing good volunteer work. So good for him. But that just angers me. So, I just wanted to share that.
He got when he got released, he knew it had happened, because I think the story was the warden showed up at his cell and unlocked the door.
Oh, he's for real?
Yeah. How's that for a message?
That's cool.
Damn.
That's awesome. Yeah, he deserved nothing less.
Two guards were like debating, several guards were debating on who would drive him home. And first they had to figure out where that would be. And so where'd he go? He went to Mike's house.
Damn.
And Mike was working a case and couldn't show up in time. So the guards drove him all the way from the facility to San Diego. And he tripped on sitting in the back seat of a car with two cops in the front and no screen and not handcuffed. And they asked him where he wanted to go. And he said they wanted to take him to a steak dinner on the way home on them. And he said, no, he wanted to go to In-N-Out. That's what he arrested.
That's awesome. And I wonder why there's no
double.
You don't hear about these cops or people who are framing people for these murders. You never hear of them going to prison afterwards. At least I have not.
What happened to the cop who framed him? He killed himself, right, Greg?
No, he's a preacher with a huge following in the San Fernando Valley. He's a big shot man of the cloth.
Oh, that's what you were talking about, was a man of the cloth.
Wow. Jesus.
Ridiculous. Yeah, but no, that's cool that it's it's in the systems. It's a big help. It's a big deal. And honestly, even if these guys are getting stronger and fitter, they're not going to become more of a problem because of it. They're going to be more focused.
Hey, there's Jay Chapman says that there's a job out there where you help quadriplegic couples have sex. You have to insert the man's penis into the woman and then shake them.
Oh my God, Jake.
Really?
Ridiculous.
I would do that. I would
totally
be
paid to do it.
I would totally do that.
You'd pay them.
I would totally do that.
Jeez.
Shit.
I used to bathe hairy old men. I can do anything.
Hey, that's a whole new that's a whole new term for he made me do it, right?
Someone
I used to bathe hairy old men.
Someone known to all CrossFitters' wife used to jerk off dogs for a living.
No shit.
Yeah.
And what would they do? What was that purpose? Just to get the semen for breeding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
It wasn't for fun.
All right, guys.
All
Have a
right.
good one. Thank you.
Don't be a
Thank you
pussy,
and
hang out with it.
congratulations.
That's funny.
For what? Getting out of jail?
Yeah, maybe even figuring out how not to go back.
Right.
More importantly.
All right. Oh, here we go. Here's something.
Okay, I gotta run. I'm already a little bit late. I'll see you guys later. Thank Greg.
Bye,
Good
Susan.
meeting you. Sorry, I was trying to hang on. I'm already 30.
You're a good dude.
minutes
You're a
late.
good
I
dude.
know.
You're a good dude. I kicked you off.
Bye, bud.
Love you. Call me Susan. Krista Podham. Greg, I lost nearly. What's S?
Congratulations.
Greg, I lost nearly 100 pounds because of CrossFit. I'm only 23 and it changed my life forever. What's SO? Sure as fuck.
Shout out.
Oh, shout out. Oh, look at you. You really haven't been. You haven't really lived. That's what I was thinking. You haven't really lived until you've bathed an 85-year-old man and he shit on you. Yeah, I agree. You know, when you're doing that kind of stuff too, like when you're bathing someone or helping someone like that, you're kind of like, God, I hope there's a God. God, I fucking hope he's not busy. I hope he's seen me do this. You know what I mean? Like I hope I get some fucking points for this.
My nurse friend Julie, you know her brother Jimmy.
Oh.
Said that she could remove impacted feces with her hand up your ass and eat a cheeseburger with the other hand. No problem.
Oh, I can't believe those words came out of your mouth. Wow.
I'm just an honest reporter here.
I know, but you're not a feces guys at all. You don't.
That would ruin my burger.
Well, you're just not a feces. You don't even. The subject of feces is never a.
Or I think I just like burgers too much.
Wow, Jesus criminy.
That's like, send me in to clean up the throw up, and we're only gonna have a bigger mess.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you to you and everyone else, all of y'all. It's a cool.
Jesus, you guys, stop with the thank yous. Shout out to Greg as well, Sebastian and I found CrossFit 19 years ago, transformed me from skinny fat vegan to strong dude who can do shit.
Congratulations, Sebastian. That's what we're in it for. That's the upside. That's the payday right there. That's why you do it.
So you can have standing sex, so you can carry your girl around.
I just see bring people, bring them closer to the real them, to their ideal them, to the thing you're meant to be. It's easy.
Look at you, Vindicate. Well, I'm not hungry for lunch anymore. Well, maybe that's a.
Yeah, go to Chopsticks.
All right.
All right. I'm going to see you in a couple days.
All right. Hopefully sooner.
I'm going to let Cara know we got to get the bee thing rolling.
Okay, cool.
And build my chicken palace.
Okay, and then
maybe someone listen has some strong opinions on chicken huts, chicken parlors. I don't want to do the tractor one, pull it across the lawn.
No.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of both. Okay.
Tell me, I want to get a chicken hut too. Tell me if you find a good chicken hut.
Hey, I'm bringing that book, The Have More Plan. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, okay.
And the homesteading thing. There's some cool stuff in there.
Okay.
It's all fascinating. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hey, one more thing. Have you gone to the Knot app that I was trying to push down your throat?
Tell me the website.
Like Captain Ty
and
Knots.
Oh, no. KNOT. No. I haven't gone to that.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about that. And it turns out, this is, I think, really impressive. The guy behind it, Grog, G-R-O-G, and it's just a diminutive of his last name. It's Grog Knots. How could I not remember that? Grog Knots. And it was $4.95 or something. But the guy's a surgeon. And he's actually has an improvement on the traditional ligature that's used, and he's published on it from a Royal College of Surgeons. He actually convinced the Royal College of Surgeons that they've been tying knots wrong for a long time and it's costing lives, which is a fascinating fucking thing. But the app is brilliant. It's well
Is he
organized.
still alive?
Yeah. Something gives me the impression he's a young guy. But he quotes Ashley at length and constantly, which is a really good sign, because that's like more than you ever want to know about knots there, but dated. And the videos and the information and history behind them all is fascinating, but it's a great thing to expose children to. I don't think there's an aspect of bushcraft. It's at least as important as being able to start a fire, but with much greater and continuous applications across all kinds of fields too. That was one of the things that's interesting in his knot book. He has it separated, camping from fishing, from surgery.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. He has a website. I think this is his Animated Knots.
Yep.
Okay, I'll look. I'll check it out.
Yeah, the pay for app is Grog Knots.
Surgical knots. Excuse me.
The article, and he made a gizmo to test the strength of the knot in a ligature by putting a weighted system on a ligature, and then published the data. And it's clear, it seems to me, that he's improved on what might be a 300-year-old surgical knot or practice.
I never even heard this word, ligature. A thing used for tying or binding something tightly. A thing.
There are moments in surgery where you tie something and it can't ever come untied, or the guy's fucked.
Like they die.
Yes. And it happens all the time. And this guy's like, it doesn't need to. Just do it like this.
Wow.
Look at the Palomar knot on for instance, in that series, just on a way to tie a fishing knot. And I'm gonna let it go. I don't want to talk too much knots. I'll save it for my kids. I'm driving them nuts with knots. It's a daily thing.
So what, you want to learn something, so you just teach your kids?
Oh, for a fucking fact.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see that knot really quick, the one you talked about. Where do I look at it? Which one?
A Palomar knot.
What would it be under?
It's fishing.
Oh, under fishing. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Types of
It
knots.
replaces the fisherman's knot or the clincher knot.
Knots by activity, fishing. God, this is a really nice website.
Dude, it's worth $500, much less of $495 or whatever it is.
Oh, this one. Simple knot to attach a line to a hook.
Yeah,
or
watch
a fly
this.
to a tippet.
Through, around, and over, and you're done. So you can. I like this endorsement. You could do it in the pitch black with cold hands.
So that's a strong one.
Super strong. And so much easier than what's been taught forever. Talk about elegance, right?
Yeah. God, this is cool. All right, thank you.
All right, hey, let's force the knots on the kids.
All right.
There's no one who knows how to handle rope, tie shit down intelligently that regrets knowing that. It's like playing the piano.
I'll bring them over Saturday morning. You can do a knot class.
There we go. All right. Bye, bud.
Bye. Ciao. Nope. Bye-bye. There you go. All knots gone. Peace and wait. There we go. Caleb's working. Susan's working. Then we have silence. I guess I could do a little work. You guys want to watch me work a little bit? I could call what time do you guys want to do it? Then I'll find a day. I have things this weekend with my wife, so that's not ideal. You tell us, John. Please. Okay. So we're gonna unveil the Robin workout on this podcast. John Young's gonna do it. Oh, my wife was saying our last Coke dividend was $1.83, not 2 cents. Wow. Oh, it's my wife calling. Hi.
Hey, I might leave a little bit earlier because Marquetta said her 9 o'clock in the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll go.
And okay. Oh, then I'm gonna come in and watch the boys do jiu-jitsu, I think.
Okay, are you still on or are you done?
I'm still on.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be in touch.
All right. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not I'm sorry I don't get to kiss you goodbye.
Okay, we'll make up for it later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. So there's that. I do need to call Taylor. Let me see if I can get him on here really quick. I wonder who's coming on tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow.
Dude, I'm watching Physical 100. What's up?
Hey, we're live on the air. Hey, dude. Remember that show
What's
idea we were talking about yesterday?
Yep.
Do you think we could do that once a week at the same time every week? Like, do you have room for that in your life? I know that's an insane commitment.
Oh, how long would the show be?
I think 1 hour.
A 1 hour show?
Yeah, like you come on, you do your we start the show, you do your part, and then people just start from the audience just start trying to beat you. I haven't told anyone. We're live on the air. I haven't told them to share the show. But
so it would have to be would have to be at the gym. I'd have to do it at the gym, right?
I mean, I think so. Yeah. Like, could you do every Monday at a certain time or something like that?
I feel like you don't think a Saturday would be better?
Sure. I'm just thinking
Maybe
when other
not, I don't
people
know.
will be in their gyms too. I just think the show is going to be massive, dude. I think people are going to be so excited to try this.
I know. If we did it every week, then people could schedule around it. And if you did it on a Saturday, that's pretty flexible where people can go into their gym and do whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, think if you're doing it on a weekday at a CrossFit affiliate, that people got to work around class. You know what I mean?
So you like Saturday?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want to make it work for sure.
What time on a Saturday?
I don't know. Noon. I mean, we could definitely do it every week. I don't know if it would be on the same day every week. I mean, think about.
They do Kill Tony every Monday at 8 p.m. live. And I was just thinking, what if every Saturday at 12 noon?
But then what about?
And then because people in the audience have to have access to a gym too. So I think that's great.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, so I think it's great. Dude, this is going to be this thing. If we do this every weekend for a year, we could transcend the CrossFit space with this. It could get so weird.
I want to do it for sure. I'm in. I mean, we got to find the right time.
Okay.
And there has to be flexibility. Listen, there has to be flexibility because sometimes I'm going to be on vacation or travel, whatever. And same for you.
On what? On vacation?
Dude, don't even fucking draw that word out like you're
How
shocked,
the
dude.
fuck? Vacation?
Dude, I'm going to
something separate from what you don't think our life's already a vacation?
It is, dude, but I'm going to Italy in August. My wife likes to travel. So does my mom.
So find
dude.
a fucking gym in Italy and do it. Do it in your hotel room. Go to the gym downstairs in the hotel. This is we live the greatest life ever. You mean you want to take a vacation from your vacation?
Not really.
Yeah, this shit's too good. Sorry, I can't fuck you this weekend, honey. I'm taking a vacation from fucking. Sorry.
Shut up.
I mean, this is okay. Okay, so yeah, we'll be totally flexible, but and you're right, shit will come up. Like, I mean, obviously, like you're gonna be working out at the semifinals on Saturday. That's not gonna be ideal.
Yeah. Do we start it after semifinals?
No,
semifinals is in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to fucking take this thing just for a test run this Saturday.
This Saturday, I'm competing this Saturday.
Oh, you're doing the crescendo.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
God, you're crazy. Aren't you neurologically kind of toast from just all the pressure from last week? No? Oh, wow.
I'm good to go. I worked out today. Worked out yesterday. Worked out Monday.
Okay, think about it. I'm gonna bug you later.
All right. Hey, I'm in to do it. I don't have to think about it. Just when are we gonna start it and what day and what time?
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna bug you throughout the day today so we can pin down a time. Just think of a time. I'm gonna be super flexible for you. I love Saturdays too, by the way.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Holy shit, guys. You're not even gonna fucking believe this. Everyone joins a Zoom call and does a workout with Taylor live. No. Better than that. I'll tell you guys. If you're not like, if you can't keep a secret, just leave the show now. I'm gonna tell you guys, but I need you to keep it a secret. Don't share it. I'll give you guys a second. By the way, did you see fucking Andrew Hiller did a live show and called Nick Johnston from Proven to ask him what the fuck? That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. Okay, you ready for this? Do you guys know the show Kill Tony? We're going to do Kill Taylor. And basically, he's going to come on the show. Show's going to start. There'll be like 5 of us on, right? It'll be like me and Hiller and Tyler and Grundler on, right? And then Taylor will do a workout. It'll be very simple. Always probably less than 2 minutes, right? Like 3 minutes max, 4 minutes. Short workout. Like I can't remember who. Someone said 50 cals on the assault bike, 50 kettlebell swings. And then anyone who wants to try to beat him can send me a fucking link to my phone here, work phone. Just can send me the text message. I'll send you a link to the show and you can come on and try to beat it. While we're just talking crazy shit about your fucking movements. And then if you beat him, if you have the best score that day, whoever has the best score that day gets $500 from the sponsor. We don't have a sponsor yet. And we'll do that show once a week. It is going to be fucking crazy. But it's like basically at Kill Tony. We just bring people, you know how people like get picked from a drawing? And we'll only pick like, maybe the first week only one of you guys, you know Pool Boy will try to do it. Maybe the first week only one of you guys will try to do it. But before we know it, we'll have like 200 people in the chat wanting to try to beat his time. But we'll only choose 5 every week. Every show. Because the show has to be less than an hour. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fucking crazy. You guys understand the concept? So we watch Taylor do a workout. and you text your phone number, you text saying I want to go against Taylor, and then we watch you go and you try to beat his time. Yeah, thank you. I know it. Love it. Yeah, it's going to be so funny. It's going to be a complete shit show, but it's going to be great. Yeah, Judy Reed, I'll watch for sure, but I wouldn't dare try. Yeah, no girls aren't allowed to try. No girls. This is just for boys. I'm just kidding. Girls can try. That's ridiculous. Of course girls can try. No, Taylor will not get 500 if he wins. I don't even know how we give Taylor will not get 500 if he wins. Fuck that. Daniel Wynn, do it like the old pros versus the Joes. God, I hated those shows. Where the individual who comes closest to beating Taylor wins the money. No. Sorry. Not whoever comes the closest. I don't want to fucking give the money away. All these presuppositions you make. I don't want to give the fucking money away. I'm trying not to give the sponsors money away. If 3 people beat them, they each don't get 500, just like whoever beat them by the most. And maybe I'll lower it to 250 just for that comment, Daniel. Or 50 cents. Yeah, look, Jeffrey, I'll try for comic relief. There you go. Yeah. Everyone wants to chime in on everything. Oh my God! If one more person says, "Did Fee get her money? Did Lindsay get her money? Can you text Gary?" I was like, "Fuck you, fucking all of you guys, motherfuckers! Like, get off my jock. Just trying to chill." I know you guys mean well. Everyone means well. Everyone's so nice. Everyone's trying to put their card away. All right. Glad I got that off my back. Sevi, when's the last time you measured your penis? I'm fucking 16. I don't know. I measure it with hands now. Do you know what I mean? Like I grab the base and then I put one hand over and then I put the other hand over. Try to get I call it a 3 fist. Get 3 fists on the penis and then still have the helmet out. That's when I know, like, okay, I have good blood flow. You know what I mean? So I call it a 3 fister. Wow, 3 fister. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can. Like this. Right? So like if you got a hard on you, I measure it by I go like this, and then I go like this, and then I go like this to see how much like is. That's how I measure it. I don't actually use a. Yeah, the extra labia hanging over doesn't count. God, I have such a funny story about that. My hands are small, but they're not very small. Like, I don't think when you shake my hand, you're like, hey, he got a tiny hand. But they are small. All right. Trying to think if there's anything. I should show you this. That guy who wrote The Moth and the Iron Lung was on a podcast. Forrest Mawready. Maready. I need to get him on this podcast. Tomorrow we have I gotta tell Sousa. Tomorrow we have a Venezuelan lawyer on whose specialty is immigration. And I think his shit got all fucked up from Venezuelan gangs. So that's gonna be fun. And then that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then Friday I have Russell Berger on. And then Saturday I have Tom Daly on from Me Prism. Oh, it's cool. So I have 3 days of work coming. All right. Yeah, wide palms. I probably have wide palms. I don't think there's any more shows today. I'm almost sad to see you guys go. See myself go. I had a great time. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. So we just had the biggest 3 days in the history of the podcast, like 3 days in a row, like not even close. Bigger than the Open, bigger than the games. Like the traffic that went through the podcast was insane. So thank you. It was nuts. I was looking at the analytics last night. 4 days. It was 4 days of just 5 days. Sorry, 5 days of just. Oh, look at here he is. Hey, you asshole.
You're about to leave.
I'm 2.5 now.
Hey, dude. I saw you about to sign off. I just want
to. I'm gonna be here another hour.
No, we can do it short. I just ate something.
I might have to get a spade. What?
It's like spade. I just don't know if you want to talk about it.
Oh, I'll talk about it. Yeah.
All right, I brought him over here.
Okay.
I got home yesterday, right? And I just ate one of these things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy good.
Yeah, dude. I don't really get it.
That's why I'm gonna have Richard. I'm gonna have Richard Johnson on to talk about what allulose is. I know I can't even fucking believe the RX sugar bars.
It doesn't make any sense. It says zero sugar.
Makes
and it
no
also
sense.
says it says 18 grams of carb. Like, where is it coming from?
Yeah, we need all that shit explained.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's supposed to be for keto people. I looked into it like very surface level. That's all.
But it actually tastes like it just tastes like sugar though. It's not weird at all. You know how like
Right.
Yeah, it's not weird.
I haven't tried that syrup, but I tried the chocolate, and it's crazy.
They sent me the syrup, but I don't know. Like I don't even eat syrup. What would I put it on?
Did the kids eat syrup?
No, they don't even know what syrup is. Allulose is sugar. Oh, well, that makes sense because it is fucking good, and it's not as sweet. It's perfect, right? The texture and everything.
Yeah. It's
like a Milky Way bar and a Kit Kat fucked each other.
That's a good way to put it. That should be their tagline, their slogan.
Or a Snicker bar. Yeah.
It's like a Milky Way and a Kit Kat fucked each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you. So
it says allulose is sugar, which I don't know if it's true. I don't know, but it also is not supposed to mess with your insulin levels, right?
Yeah, this is the crazy shit. Allulose helps control blood sugar. That's the part I can't even get my head wrapped around. I just call bullshit on. That's why I got to have the guy on.
I got here too late. Like Greg would be someone who would be interesting to ask, right?
About
you could have a one-liner that would either crush them or support them.
Right. Do CA hormones do injectable versions of what? Yeah, everything's injectable.
That's all they do.
Yeah. They injected your mom, Jake.
Well, the thing is, like here, this caveman dude, I think that everything gives you some sort of an insulin response, right? Like if you eat a steak, it's just the levels to which.
Right. Hey, that video you did on
Luis.
Yeah, dude. Have you gotten any feedback from that yet?
I talked to Nick.
Oh,
Johnson.
You did?
Yeah, I got a hold of him like an hour later.
Is he freaking out?
If we're being honest, as I was on the phone with him, he was tripping a little bit because he had no idea what was going on, but his phone blew up, I guess. He was in a meeting. That's why he didn't pick up when I called him. He said he would have been cool with it as well. There were people who were like, "Don't call him. That's not cool."
It is a wild video.
Well, what he said was there were a handful of attempts made by Luis on that workout, and he couldn't confirm that it was the correct one. But as I was on the phone with him, he was like, "Okay, so I was judging. He went touch and go on the snatches, and it seemed like that's probably the one he submitted, but he couldn't confirm it."
Meaning that maybe he submitted the wrong video and then he's got a better one out there?
Potentially.
Not,
but it seemed
disregard
unlikely.
That. That's just not true. I'm not even going to believe that.
Right. It seemed unlikely.
Yeah. That's just like whether it is true or not, it's just not true. Like meaning like there is no better video. Like he's clearly that's how he works out.
Right. He said there's
like
a lot
if you
of
played football and
before
it's like if you played football and every time before you threw the ball you ran out of bounds and like no one ever told you can't run out of bounds.
Yep. it does not look good for Proven. And I tried to like really hammer that home that Luis is a great guy, but he's had mishaps in the past. And I can't believe that they let that fly. And I told Nick, I go, Nick, I went hard on you for like sitting as you were judging this guy. Hey, also, I caught wind that this is the workout they're looking at.
Oh, because you think they're only gonna choose one.
Yeah. They look at one really intensely from what we can tell.
Hey, if you're like a HW, like do you think like the head trainer like at HWP, like basically HWPO Proven and Mayhem makes shitloads of money from selling programming, right? I mean, just shitloads, right? They're printing cash, right?
Right.
And rightfully so. They have great athletes over there, and if you believe those athletes are doing that programming, that you believe they have the winning formula. Like I have no issue with that. I think it's great. But if you're the other two camps, HWO and Mayhem, you must be ecstatic right now, right? Like you're like, ooh, fuck.
And that video it's catching traction.
Dude, it's wild, dude. It's wild. He said I was
cool to talk about whatever we talked about on the phone, and he goes, "He did what?" as like his video is public, right?
Yeah. Who did what? He said he did what?
Nick,
what you did or what?
I'm like, dude, his video is public for the world to see.
Oh.
And Nick's like, he did what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why.
Oh my God.
But I think Nick understands that I have an order of operations. Like I see video, I make video, I go from there. Nick was very cool.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because it's like being upset because you got caught stealing. It's like you knew you were doing. Yeah.
Luis has taken his videos down since.
Oh,
they're no longer public.
Straight up the butthole.
I said that in the video. Like the camera shot, like, it's the worst angle to record that workout from.
Hey, by the way, that's how I do step ups.
Straight up the butthole?
No, but when I do step ups, but I alternate legs in real time, but I just do a tap down. And it's not that it's
tap down.
You know how like I stand up and tap my foot and then come down. That's how I do them. And I think I get great stimulus, and I don't think it's any less of a workout, maybe even as fat better because I can cycle and I alternate legs. But for this, there has to be a line to judge it, right?
Right.
And that line is both feet have to be up and stop, and you have to be fucking open hip, open knee.
I think the biggest mishap on the judging this year is there hasn't been someone to say, if it doesn't look like the picture, you're in danger. So like Adrian needs to be on like CrossFit's comms, whether it be the games, Instagram or YouTube channel or both or everywhere. Or there should be like an attachment where you click in the PDF, a little Adrian button. It's like, here's the pictures. It would have answered the question that is, can you step up diagonally? Because no one would have done it because they would have heard him say, hey, the picture, they're square.
You never mentioned that in the video.
Because that's not what they've said.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool that you didn't mention it.
Right.
Yeah.
The corner is fine. Yeah, the corner has nothing to do with it. The way I do I think the step-up standard's stupid. I like that it's 20 inches. But you know what's annoying about a step-up is the both feet to the floor deal. You want to see how I do step-ups?
Yeah.
Like if I'm just doing them.
Yeah.
You go here. And then you switch up top.
Yeah. 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 Actually, I do. Yeah. Actually, I do that way too. Actually, I do that and the tap. Yeah.
And well, it makes more sense when the box is taller, 24 inches. But like the feet down to the floor, both feet up, both feet down, it's like a waste of movement.
How are those shoes?
You use heavier dumbbells and blow yourself up doing that.
Why are you wearing shoes just around your house? I noticed you have the Born Primitives on.
It's kind of cold. Are you wearing them? Barefoot. I am a barefoot man.
I am a barefoot man. Dude, my art, how nice are my arches?
It's because you're always barefoot.
That thing is crazy.
And you're calloused.
Yeah, calloused to fuck. So proud of my calluses. When I tell my kids their feet will be like that, oh yeah. That wow.
That's
Oh
from
my
That's from
God.
chopping down that tree. Everyone goes, "You suck at swinging an axe." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've never swung an axe." You ever chopped down a tree before?
No, but I've swung an axe and it I haven't really. I shouldn't really say I've swung an axe. I've swung a dirt pick, like a pick, a lot.
You can't chop down a tree with a dirt pick.
No.
So you've never chopped.
I've never even really split wood. No.
I can't say I've split wood either, but I've chopped down a tree now.
Yeah.
Took an hour.
You chopped down a big one?
After Bill's roommate did, yeah, I took one down. It took an hour. It was exhausting. It was hard. So you get an entire new respect for what that guy was doing on camera. If you saw that, if anyone saw that, after doing it yourself, it's hard. And it fucks your hands up. Something fierce.
I've been shoveling the last few days, but I didn't lose any calluses. My back fucking hurts.
I would love to watch you try to take down a tree.
Oh, you think I could do it in 3 hours? Or my back?
Yeah. He was talking about his back, but I think yours would be okay.
Be careful, Sevi. There's foot fetish people out there.
You guys think that Sevon could chop down a tree?
You could jerk off to my feet. I don't care.
I'm curious what people think. Can Sevon chop down a tree?
You don't think anyone's ever jerked off to me on the show, do you?
You know, I'm sure someone has.
Fine.
Does that make you feel weird?
No.
You probably like it.
I do like it. I take it as a comment, but then I was thinking, I wonder if a girl's ever rub one out to me, and then I was like, I just
look at this.
That's not true. What?
No shot.
Oh.
No. Fuck no. Yes, in a week.
Sevon won't even trim his bush, dude.
No. Yes, you got a yes.
It's so funny you say that because last night I was watching TV and I was just sitting there and I was just holding a handful of my pubes in my hand. I was like, man, I need to just trim these. I need to trim these down. I just had I was just sitting there, like this, just like with my hands, like just watching TV with a handful of pubes. Like, man,
you want to hear something funny?
What?
It's a little much.
It looked like that's okay. It looked like this. This is what I was like holding. It was just like
so you were holding a handful of pubes like that.
Yeah, like my pubes.
You know how I spent a week at Bill's?
Yeah.
And like the melanotan stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's out of my system, but I'm still on TRT, and it's the longest I've been away from Alexis for a bit.
Yeah.
When's the last time you shaved your pubes?
I usually only probably whenever I was in a hotel. I use the opportunity when I'm in hotels to like trim to do most of my fucking bush keepery.
Why?
Because I don't want the fucking hairs all over. Like I don't want like my wife will be like, Jesus Christ, dude, there's fucking pubes everywhere. I'm like, what?
So we got a couple of bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
And the one
you trimmed down your pubes at Bill's house and left them. Wow.
No. I got home and I like got rid of everything.
Okay.
Like the water had risen a little bit, and I was like kind of stepping in water. It was a long shower. I had to get rid of everything.
Yeah.
And then Alexis got home and she went to go use the bathroom, and there was hair in the bathtub. And she's like, "Did you wash the dog?" Oh my God. it hit her. And you're like, and I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of waiting for you to come home all day.
Oh my God. You think pubes are gross? I'm not grossed out by pubes. I'm at all. Unless if they were on my toothbrush, I'd be bummed.
She was like, "Oh my God, I know what this is, and I know where this is going."
Hey, you can't shave your fucking pubes in the shower. You're gonna clog your drain.
Yeah, that's probably why the bathtub's rise. We wash the dogs in that tub. That's why, because there's dog hair in there.
Yeah, no, pubes are cool.
Janelle Winston, gross. I would be mad. She wasn't mad. She was laughing.
Hey,
I'm in danger.
That was last night you did that?
Yeah.
And then when are your balls like really sensitive now? Or it went away by the time you woke up?
So if you keep up with it, the answer is no. But like if you go a while and go after it all at once, then yeah, you'll get all messed up.
Yeah. All right.
Why are you shaving, by the way? Be a man, because it's nice.
One time I used the
my balls look like Taylor's head.
One time I used the Philip Norelco one blade on my balls. And dude, in
no,
dude, in like 12 seconds.
Did
No,
you mess yourself up? Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah, dude. In 1/1000th of a second, it put like 6,000 paper cuts on my scrotum. My scrotum looked like it had been attacked, by with a razor blade, dude. It was crazy. And I'm like, okay, it's no big deal. And there's little blood spots all over it. I just touched it there, and it was like, just like fuck, like a weed whacker getting caught on something.
How long did
like,
that take for it to recover?
One day, because there's such. But I went in the shower after that, and my nuts burnt for was like 5 seconds.
You went for your nuts first?
Crazy pain.
There's other areas that are flatter.
Well, no, I don't know.
But I'm going to take off through the hills and not through the runway.
It's just because the texture of the balls. Maybe I used it other places first. I mean, I used it on my face, but fuck.
This might be the most accurate comment. It's like, yeah,
shaving your legs after 4 or 5 days feels terrible after.
I assume that applies to like balls as well.
18 grams of carbs and 4.5 teaspoons of sugar.
How many dudes do you think shave their like nuts and all that? Not many.
No, I think it's more and more. I think as we go further and further, no offense, to the pussification of man, more and more dudes do it.
Yeah.
When you have pubes that are longer than your limp dick, it's time to cut it.
Oh, dude, there's just I don't know.
Hey,
One, it makes it look bigger.
You're a bodybuilder, dude. I understand.
I am.
You do, dude.
You ever shaved your armpits before?
No, I've not shaved.
I did that once, and that was terrible. Like, never do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
Do you use like a trimmer
on my balls?
Yeah.
No, like I'm gonna eventually.
You said you grabbed a handful, and that's more than I've ever had in my entire life.
Listen, eventually, like maybe now, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna grab a handful of my pubes, and I'm gonna take a pair of scissors. I'm gonna take a pair of Milwaukee like nail cutter scissors, like they're scissors that you can cut nails with.
Because I'm a man.
And I'm just gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna take that handful, and I'm gonna think that I got them in the trash, all of them, but I didn't. And then maybe I'll grab like my scrotum, and I'll pull like just a handful. I'll just trim it like, and then I'll do like 4 cuts, and then that'll be it. I'll be like, all right, I'm done.
4 cuts. It's way more time efficient.
Yeah, just a handful. Snip, 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 snip. That's it.
Do you make that noise when you do it too?
No, I just hope
snip. Here we go.
I just hope no one walks in. It's something I like to do in private. I don't want anyone walking in with me while I'm fucking got a pair of scissors by my sack and my penis. It is a weird thing seeing a pair of scissors by your penis. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It is fucking weird. And you never get used to it. Never. Go hold a pair of scissors next to your penis. Just go hold a pair of scissors next to your penis. You'll be like, what the fuck? These two should never be in the room together. Oh, I have the scissors. I'll use these. I have like 4 pairs of these in my house. These are the scissors. Not these exact,
those exact ones.
No, but look, you can see marijuana from when this was used to trim marijuana plant.
Oh, those are good scissors.
Resin on it. Yeah, you can cut a nail with this.
Are you trying to insinuate that your pubes are that thick?
Coarse. Sevy's pubes are like his head, above the penis, black, and gets white. No, I don't have any gray on my.
Haven't you and Sousa spoken about Manscaped?
Yeah, they sent me fucking. They're a sponsor. For the radio version of the show. They sent me so many fucking razors. The pubic one, the one I use on my face, the one that's for your balls.
Have you gotten a haircut since the last time you got a haircut?
No. Do I need a haircut?
No, I was just wondering if you were going to get another one. Or if
I've been washing my hair, which is kind of weird.
What's that like? With what?
Just some hippie soap my wife has.
You just use her soap?
Yeah. Just like her shampoo. It's shampoo.
It looks good.
It does?
Is it weird?
Well, I just feel like I'm getting ready. The thing is I'm going to cut it before I go to semifinals. And I'm going to shave, but I don't want to do it too many times. So I'll wait like the week before I go to semifinals. I'll get a haircut and I'll shave.
Someone wants to know. Oh, Jake Chapman wants to know if he can buy your pubes. God, that would be wild. That would be the ballsiest. That's a pun thing you could do. The guys, here they are. They're in a bag.
You think that would be bad for my reputation?
No. It would compound your reputation.
My reputation.
Yeah, what reputation? It precedes you.
So, you ready for this? Did I tell you this? Did I tell you the show idea? Kill Tony, kill Taylor. I haven't told you this. I didn't tell you yesterday.
Have you talked about it?
I talked about it on the show today.
Kill Taylor?
Yeah, I didn't tell you about this show.
No.
Dude, you're gonna fucking trip. Every Saturday, that doesn't matter, but just hear me out. Every Saturday at 12 noon, we're gonna go live. It'll be like me, you, and Tyler.
Okay.
Taylor will have a camera pointed at him. He's going to do a workout that's like anywhere from the 1 to 3 minute range.
Uh-huh.
Like 50 cals on the assault bike, 50 kettlebell swings. That's it.
Okay.
He'll set a time. If anyone wants to try to beat him, they can text me on the work phone, right?
Right.
I'll send them a link and they can come right in and they can try to beat him. While they're doing it, the four of us are just talking shit about him. You have no chance, you fat motherfucker. You know, just whatever we want. Those reps don't count. Just
that's gonna be wild, dude.
And if then we'll let as many people go as we have time. So maybe like anywhere from 1 to 6 people a show. And I bet you after a year we have hundreds of people coming on here trying to fucking beat them.
That would be cool.
And then whoever has the best score of the day gets $500 from sponsor we don't even have yet.
That's a great idea. Do you think how many people can you have at once on here?
Well, we'll just have them line up in the bottom. I'll give them, and they'll just start lining up in the waiting room, right?
Oh, we got to practice that.
And but listen, but it's the only people on the screen. It's like this. It's me and you and Tyler Watkins and whoever the funniest people are who can rip. I bet you Tyler can rip. We get
That's
Pedro.
gonna be super cool. That's
we get
crazy.
Pedro on for that show too. Just let Pedro rip people.
Hey, I imagine there's like, let's say there's 300 people watching the show.
Yeah,
there'd be 10 of them who are just waiting.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like
And dude,
it's that,
eventually, the first show, we might only get one person who has the balls to do it. Like Pool Boy will probably do it, right?
Right. Hey, he did pretty well in quarterfinals.
But eventually, I bet you Vellner comes in and is like, listen, motherfucker, I'll take that money right now.
God, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Leo Franco can take him down in muscle ups like he wanted to.
So, and I think that show will be crazy. I think eventually, if we did the show every week for 50 fucking weeks a year, by the end, we'll have like, have you seen the show Kill Tony?
No, but I like that it's called Kill Taylor.
Yeah, so we'll call it Kill Taylor.
I'm assuming it's got somewhat of a similar thread, right?
Yeah, basically it's a show. It's the biggest live podcast, I guess, on YouTube, so they claim. And basically, and it's a really weird show and it's really uncomfortable. Basically, these 4 guys sit on stage, and it's often Joe Rogan's one of the guys, and they just pull names out of a hat, and people come on stage, and you get to fucking do your comedy bit for 1 hour, and then 1 minute, 1 minute, and then these dudes just rip on you while you do your bit.
I like the idea of that, the ripping part. It's like those Reddit threads, which I know you've never seen, but people just put up it says roast me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you could upload one to this roast me thread, and they would just tear you like big ass nose Jew looking thing. And they would just say the most rancid crap about you. And you look, it's pretty funny. It'll be a hot chick, and they'll like take her apart.
Wow.
You never seen the roast me things?
No, maybe I should do that. That could be a good bit for a podcast.
But that's kind of what we would be roasting the people who are going against Taylor, or just Taylor?
No, Taylor. We love on Taylor.
Oh, okay. We roast everybody.
Roast out the other people who tried to beat him.
Okay. Yeah.
Will Brandstetter, Kill Tony sucks. Their audience is 450-pound guys with Doritos and Mountain Dew. Well, it's fucking hard to watch. I can't believe how successful it is.
Is it because they're so?
Oh, I didn't say it's the greatest. I said biggest, largest. It is not.
There you go. Graciano got one. He just roasted you.
That nose could double as an umbrella. Jesus Christ. Oh, something's wrong. His voice is gonna be all weird. Caller, hi.
My voice sound.
Yeah. Hold on. Did you hear how crazy his voice was?
Yeah.
I have to reconnect. I don't know what the fuck's up with this whole Bluetooth thing. I'm hungry. Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Hello? Jeremy.
What's up?
Hey, what's
Can
up?
you hear
Dude?
me?
Yeah.
Hey, can I go first? We'll do workout number 2. That's the only workout I have or ever will beat Taylor on.
No, the workouts are going
I
to be
keep
short.
saying it,
How
but-
long is that workout? We're not doing anything long. I don't want to watch anyone go long. I'm not interested in
that's
watching
too
anyone
long.
go over two or 3 minutes.
I think the joke is that like Taylor died on that workout.
Oh,
it was the workout he
We
died.
all died, but we all died. He died more. That was amazing. Hiller, update on quarterfinals workout number 4. When the leaderboard finally did propagate for us masters, what I thought happened when it finally came up, what I thought I messed up on was confirmed. I only put the reps that I completed in the final on the final bar. So I'm like, well, that sucks because if my actual score gets credited, I'll make the 35 to 39 semifinals. So I should probably reach out to somebody. So our rep in this area is your boy Charlesworth, Andrew Charlesworth.
All right. Nice.
Reached out to him. He got back to me within 5 minutes on Instagram. He directed me to someone else because he just had a kid. He's on paternity leave, so he directed me to someone else. They said, "Here, I'll forward this to support at CrossFit.com or whatever." And then I went on Instagram and just made a little story saying, "You think that CrossFit will work with me to fix this score?" And I tagged Bosman in it, and then he responded. And he said, "Yeah, he's the same email. He said, we'll work to fix that. It could take some time."
Whew.
So it looks like they are going to fix it. And I know for sure, talking to several other people, that I was not the only one to make that mistake.
Oh, no, a lot of people made that mistake. You're right.
So
Crazy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It sounds like they're going to work with me or whatever. I mean, I told him, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Like I should have read it closer, but when I finished that workout and I went to log it, I had my 3 kids, my niece, my buddy and his kids. Like it was just chaos. So I'm just like, so you're like, he's smarter than me. He did his score right, but it was just like chaos in my head. I was like, oh, 7, and boom, and I just put it in. I was like, oh, good to go. And then you guys got to talking about it after the deadline. And I was like, oh shit, I think I messed that up. And I did, but they're going to work to fix it. So
cool. I can't wait to see how many people they miss. That's my video. The ones that they left out.
Well, there you go.
Hope you're not one
video.
Hey, what are you going to place, Jeremy?
100. Well, I was doing the math. If I did my math correctly, which I can't even enter a score correctly, so who knows? But I would be like 129th in the 35 to 39. So
crazy, dude.
And I think they break that down by east-west as well, I believe. I could be wrong. So it'd be a little bit higher than that. So, yeah. Anyways, I probably will participate in that Kill Tony thing because that sounds really cool. I highly doubt I'll beat him in anything.
You're going to participate in what?
Kill Taylor. Kill Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, good.
Is there like a DEI thing? Because I'm black, like I get a head start or any sort of bonus points? Can we work that in?
Yes, of course.
Good. Even if I lose, I still get like half of the money, something like that.
Yes, we'll apologize.
This is fantastic news. I love it. All right, guys.
Love you, dude.
Have
Bye.
a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye, Jeremy.
God, he's a good dude.
Hey,
Hey,
I gotta ask you.
You go ahead.
I just made something.
Oh,
and
is it on your website?
It's on Instagram, but I can just ask you about it, or you can, whatever.
I'll look at it.
If Jeff Adler, if I say, hey, you're gonna rattle off all the people who won multiple CrossFit Games titles, who comes to mind first for you?
Froning, Fraser.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh,
because Adler was on Buttery Bros, and he's like, I have so much respect for all these people who have won it twice, and he names all these athletes: Justin, Fraser, Tia, Annie, Katrin, and he doesn't say Froning.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Wow.
That most recent one of this space. Yeah, it's
Because
crazy.
Froning got guns in Canada. They got.
Hey, it's a
They got
wacky
flags.
I heard it and I was like, did he just leave out Froning? Are you kidding me?
Hey, you want to show some respect?
I have so much respect now for people that did it twice. And I think you can't really understand it until you win once. Justin doing it twice in a row. Annie, Katrin, Tia, and Matt, what they did is incredible.
I think if you're going to beat Rich, you're going to have to bleed to do it.
I want to win. I won.
Hey, you want to show some respect?
Well done.
But there's this comment.
Did you
in here,
edit
like,
this
dude-
in a? Did you edit this in an phone app?
No, I did this on Final Cut.
I have so much respect now for people that did it twice. And I think you can't really understand it until you win once. Justin doing it twice in a row. Annie, Katrin, Tia, and Matt, what they.
Here's the thing, man. Like,
Yeah, what do you got? How are you going to help out your boy Jeff?
yeah, I do want to just say that, like, here's the thing. I mean, Canadians are so fucked, but belonging to a socialist country is so fucked. It really is. You guys are fucking idiots. But I don't know. I'm not sure if Adler's an idiot. But man, they got fucking. If we think we have problems in the U.S., they are in a fucking train wreck to hell. But and sorry, and I don't want to just name call, but like, let me see if I can give you one example.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. It is sacrilegious.
The push for the push in the belief in climate change without being here. Just sorry.
That was William Briggs who said that.
I'm going to give you something. Here we go. I have it here. Because I don't want to just I don't want to completely I don't want to completely shit on Canada without giving you just like I don't want to just do the name calling. So let me just give you this. This is the Canadian Trudeau's environmental minister. Okay, look at this fucking cuck. Look at him.
Bilbo, you lost a court case to me, and the judge ordered you to pay $20,000, but instead of paying it yourself, you had taxpayers pay for it. Why?
What did he say?
Mr. Gilbo, the court ordered.
This guy's a fucking public servant for some bullshit fucking job called environmental minister. He blocked this journalist on his Instagram account, right?
Right.
And you're not allowed to do that if you're a public figure. But in his defense, he said it was my personal account.
Okay.
Meaning I can do it on my personal account, just not on the government account. Okay. Well, if it's your personal account, how come when you lost the case, you made the government pay for it? He's just a piece of shit. Canada's just full of that, just endless. Anyway,
interesting.
Here's the thing.
God, that would piss me off, huh?
Froning's the coolest fucking CrossFitter who ever lived.
We would agree in that. I would say.
So like, I don't care if you think fine. You want to say Matt's better, or Tia's better, or there's someone out there better. There's just no. Froning's just the coolest who ever did it. Like, overall, his social credit score, if he lived in China, would be the highest.
I couldn't believe.
I mean, does anyone argue that? Does anyone?
You brought up credit score.
Yeah.
And Greg earlier today said he hadn't seen Black Mirror. I think he would love that show. I think I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, it's fucking scary. Yeah. So to not mention Fraser is just weird. To not mention Froning is just weird.
Someone goes, he was young, he was coming up, and I go, yeah, dude. Basketball players all know who Michael Jordan is, and they're going to reference him, or they're going to avoid referencing him.
Oh, yeah, but I don't. But I suspect. I mean, yeah.
What do you think? You think he avoided him?
No, I don't.
I do.
You do?
I do. You don't not say Rich and say Katrin and Annie. And it's also not a two thing. He goes, I respect people who have repeated, because he brings up Fraser and Tia, who have done it 5 and 6 times. So it's Froning is the only one he left out.
when I think of those brands, when I think of those training programs, I think of HWPO as like a training program, and I think of Proven as a training program, and I think of Mayhem as
a sanctuary.
More.
I
think it's more akin to CrossFit. When I think of CrossFit, I don't think of it as a training program. I think of it as a movement, a fitness, a lifestyle methodology, a community. Like I just, and
an
granted,
affiliate, right?
I just think of Mayhem as being more, just more. I just think of it as being more, not just more. Like, does that make sense to you? Like culturally, like as a phenomenon, I think of Mayhem as being more than just like when I think of HWPO, I think of like, okay, they sell supplements, they sell programming. I think of high level athletes. But when I think of Mayhem, I think of like community and
really quick, imagine this
training.
though.
What? Say it again.
Imagine this. I just did a whole bunch of stuff on the original journal articles, and there's pieces on how you can like start in your garage, right?
Yeah.
And then I think there's a general consensus that you don't overbuild your affiliate from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I could affiliate this thing and I can start running classes out of here.
Right.
And this is like way more than you need.
Like I used to just do CrossFit at the park, and then I started teaching.
And you
people
could
at
do
the
that.
park.
You could affiliate the park. I think Kelly Starrett did that actually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Outdoor area. Yeah. By the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah.
And then you get 3,000 square feet, and then you get 6, and then you get 10, and then you get 20, and you just build.
Then you kill yourself.
And then you kill yourself, right?
Yeah. Then you started.
But Mayhem started. I think it was in Rich's barn.
I'm
and
sure
not the barn that people see these days, but like a shed in his dad's. Like it was CrossFit Mayhem.
Yeah.
And he got it from Fight Club. And then it was the one that we'll see him doing the 2014 sign up for the Open with the red painted walls.
Yeah.
And then they moved to the giant thing you see these days. And the difference between Mayhem and HWPO and Proven built a high tech Apple looking building right away.
Yeah.
Now, why is it different? Because of how it started. HWPO, no one goes there. It's just like a shell.
Yeah. But yeah.
Where you just wreck people's brains.
Didn't they did have they did do that thing at Christmas or no? What did they do? They had their anniversary and they had like 80 people there. Those people don't train there?
WPO?
Yeah.
They're all remote from what I gather. Yeah. And that was decent. It was cool. Like they had all the rucks, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. But other than that, it's a shell.
Did I tell you I had I told you the podcast had the biggest 5 days it's had in fucking forever. Since ever.
That, but that's I could see that.
Yeah. Bigger than the Open, bigger than the CrossFit Games. Our own event.
No way.
Yeah, the numbers I'm not bigger than CrossFit's CrossFit Games, but bigger than any coverage we've ever done. I think there was maybe one day when Dave got fired that 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever he got fired. But besides that,
you had like a monopoly on the quarterfinals, right?
Yeah, and it showed. It's crazy.
It wasn't like you created one.
Yeah, there was just a vacuum.
Everyone else's content is like destroyed during the quarterfinals. Go look at like Medeiros' videos. Go look at the Buttery Bros video, dude, with Adler. It's nuked.
Oh, meaning everyone's numbers are down because everyone's spending their time on Taylor Self versus the World?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All these, fucking Laura Horvath puts up a video, gets 3,000 views, and she just won the CrossFit Games. And then you got these 4 people doing them live, Taylor Self versus the World. They're all good for 20,000 plus.
I just saw someone go on a podcast the other day who comes on my show always gets 10,000 views, and they got like 36 views on another podcast. That was
it Bryce?
No.
You said always, not once.
Get with the program. Yeah, this person is regular. I'm gonna have him back on soon. Get with the program. All right, you boys, get off so we can have at least 10 people watch our show in 7 minutes. That's fair enough. I gotta go, Mike. I gotta go. Hey, caller, hi. Hey.
Oh shit, you're leaving?
What?
Oh. You share some numbers with you since you're on this Fest for Game.
It's a Gabe
podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe.
Yeah. What up?
Oh.
What's going on?
Paper Street Coffee. Hey. You guys broke? We ruined your business?
Oh, but I wanted to share some numbers. That way it could entice more sponsors on, like your
We had
fifth
four
or sixth
massive
best sponsor.
sponsors reach out in the last 4 days. And you wouldn't even fucking believe one of them. I can't even wait to tell you, Hillary. You're going to fucking die laughing.
I hope it's Apple.
You
or
don't see it
Noble.
coming from nowhere. No, not that big. Well, that big. As big as
Noble.
Noble, but not as big as Apple.
Noble would be
But
sick.
you're going to fucking die. You're going to fucking die. Okay, go ahead, Gabe. Hi. I'm
You
high
got a
as
fleshlight
fuck on your
company
coffee
reaching out
right
to you?
now. I'm high as fuck on your coffee right now. No fleshlights.
All right. So in those days, the April 18th through the 22nd, because we got a little bit of residual visitors to the site, we had a total sales. I'm not going to tell you the number, but I'm going to tell you percentages. Over 1,100% increase in sales in those days. Total orders over 1,100%. Conversion rate.
Chase said
which
he ordered
basically-
coffee from you. He didn't even drink coffee.
I'll take that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Conversion, which basically means if someone goes to the site, how many people actually buy. 500% conversion rate. Sessions, which means how many people actually visit the site. 400%.
Hey, dude, conversion's crazy. I know the conversion's crazy. The listeners of this show, these fucking people like Augustus Link and fucking Rambler, Janelle Winston, these are ride or die motherfuckers. Yeah.
Dude.
Hey, I know you're not going to give the numbers, but you said, let's say on any given weekend you sell 150 bags of coffee. Are you telling me you sold 1,500 bags 1,000 times the amount of coffee you sell?
Yeah. Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I
don't know like what a normal weekend would be, but my dad owns a car wash, and he'd be like, "Yeah, we do 300 car washes in."
Your dad owns a car wash?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Did I know that? Like the one where you pay the money and you drive through, and the fucking machines come out.
Yeah.
And you're obsessed with keeping your car clean.
I am.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, Gabe. Fuck.
Well,
no, I'm
like,
obsessed
they
with
do
keeping my
300
car clean
cars in
too.
a weekend. So he'd be like, "Wow, 3,000 cars. Where'd you put them? Did you run out of?"
Hey, Gabe, did you? That's pretty gnarly. Does that fuck you? Does that set you back? Because we've been dealing with some companies where they get so many fucking orders that like Sogo Snacks, they didn't want to be us to mention them anymore because they were getting too many orders. They couldn't fulfill them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't set us back. I mean, we have shipping partners as in UPS and USPS that
But
think
you have
about
enough
that percentage
beans.
that
You have
we're
enough
just talking
beans.
about.
You have enough beans to fulfill the orders.
Yeah, man. What do I look like? Not a good business person?
I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we have enough. The biggest issue is shipping. Sometimes we have USPS or UPS just loses a shipment, or 5 days later it seems like it's lost, and we already sent out a replacement order, and they come out of nowhere. Oh, look, we found your package. And worst case scenario, a customer gets 2 of the same delivery, which isn't bad. I'm not going to ask them to return it to us or charge them. It's hey, here's a free gift. You got another order.
David Johnson says, do you roast your own beans? Yes, you do.
What the dude? Come on, keep up. Yeah, that's our main thing. We import, we roast, we do everything. And now with the coffee shops, I mean, we talked about this. We had this conversation, so how right before this kind of promotion, we were really in a position where, like, damn, it was getting really tough because building out Nashville is really tough. Obviously, trying to have really cool product for everyone out differently at different times of the year. It's also a huge investment. And honestly, this weekend, really just thanks to all the listeners. It was really cool to see what this other sliver of the community really does. And I wanted to share this with you and the listeners.
The other sliver.
What's the other sliver?
I mean,
the other sliver.
The other sliver of the other sliver is the sliver that doesn't listen to you, right? We've had this conversation so many times about, oh, this so-and-so said that they listen to you, but they really can't say it because they're not comfortable with coming out, quote unquote, and saying that they listen to the podcast. Or people that just have no idea what's going on. Think about how many people didn't even know about Taylor versus the World, which sucks for them. but that population is out there. The population that says, "Oh no, it's linked to Sell on the Hill, or I want nothing to do with it." And like my purpose to calling is, hey, it doesn't matter. Like look at these numbers. These numbers are not going to lie. It's actual concrete evidence that you guys are moving, that you guys are shakers.
Well, thank you. It makes me
shaking a
so stoked to
coconut
hear
tree.
that. I know that you basically are simultaneously opening 2 coffee shops at the same time, and I know that that's fucking got to be
look at
fucking
this is a comedy.
crazy. But thank you. So they did 10 times better with Taylor versus the World than paying for vendor space. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
no, yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I do want to say this. I do want to say this, and I'll say it very gently. Gabe did tell me at one time that investing in the podcast space seemed to be more lucrative than sponsoring athletes. I'm saying that as gently as I
Not
can.
seems to be.
I know.
Not seems to be.
I'm trying to be gentle.
No, I mean it should be something that should be stated, and it also should be something that people in that space of sponsoring athletes take into consideration. Even just look at what Colton's been doing lately. Like he's been coming out of his shell, and it's been benefiting us tremendously. But at the same time, we want to make sure that the people that we have a relationship with, it's all cool. Me and you had that conversation about that one athlete that no longer is with us, but like, hey, we want to make sure that if you guys are with us, like the chat is, like you are, like we're gonna give back. Like this promotion, it's not like it's gonna make me rich, but what it's doing is it's making sure that I'm able to have this long-lasting business, and all thanks to you, to be honest with you.
Augustus Link, is that why Colton and Ari are the only athletes left that Paper Street Coffee sponsors? Yeah, you're figuring it out, Augustus. Exactly. And it's not because
here's the
they
thing,
sell or don't sell
Augustus, here's
coffee.
the
It's
thing.
relationships. Yeah.
No, Augustus, check this out. They're not the only athletes.
Oh, they're not?
But they're the only No, of course not. Of course not.
That's crazy.
They're not. And again, I love all my athletes. I texted them all individually after quarterfinals. Like, hey, you guys did. Hey, I appreciate everything everyone's done for me. But again, it's one of those things where you just need to look at what we have going on and use your optics and use your own kind of judgment as to who are the people that are ride or die, who are the people that actually are quote unquote indoctrinated into what we want to do. And those are the people that keep on supporting. Like, look at everyone here in this chat has probably ordered coffee thanks to you. And solely thanks to you. And obviously what we're doing is growing our reach, right? Without these athletes, maybe we couldn't grow how many people follow us. But again, I mean, shit, when I say you have the best call to action that I've ever seen, here are the concrete factual evidence that if you say, hey guys, we're running an awesome promotion, please go support this awesome company, people do, because people trust you. And then it's our job as a company to give the best product that we can. I just picked up some Savage ones. They just came in yesterday, and I feel so pissed off that I didn't buy them earlier.
They're dope, so right? Cool. They're dope.
They're really, really cool.
Hey, you want to have a good time on the assault bike? Get some Savage ones. Do 2 shots of fucking espresso from Paper Street Coffee, and get on the assault bike, and you'll have a blast.
Yeah, man. And even look at, I got my Hiller shirt yesterday from Travis.
Yeah.
I don't buy any other company. Like, yes, I'm sorry, Born Primitive. I'm not going to buy your shirts because I'm going to buy it from Travis. I'm sorry, whoever else, right? I just picked up Spade.
I wear a Vindicate shirt every day, but and the Born Primitive shirts are really fucking nice. But I do, damn, you look yoked. Nice. But I do.
You do too, yeah. What is that, a small?
No, it's a large. Come on. Whoa. Hey, Gabe, I appreciate you calling, dude. Love you. I got to go because I got to go inside. I just realized my kids' jiu-jitsu's been over for 20 minutes, and they're just inside fucking God knows doing what. All right. Andrew, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
We'll be debuting Robin soon. We'll have a time and date for you. Talk to you guys all soon. Bye-bye.